report in.
Red 10 standing by.
Red 7 standing by.
Red 3 standing by.
Red 6 standing by.
Red 9 standing by.
Red 2 standing by.
Red 11 standing by.
Red 5 standing by.
Oh, is the algorithm trying to bury the link? For real? What a shock. Shocking, I say. I'm back. Back from Miami. Got lots of stories. In case you hadn't seen Access Vegas, we also had our meetup with ABC Australia, which actually went surprisingly well. I got my best friend in the whole world, who is as dark as I am white, on his way into the studio right now. Fresh from coming back from the, the Enhanced Games? Enhanced Games, man. Enhanced Games. Only in Las Vegas, Nevada do we have the Enhanced Game. Was that sponsored by Kick? I'm wondering why Fresh would be here for that. That's interesting. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's do this one first. Hang on, let me add this to the stage. All right.
Realize the dating pool for men until my brother showed me his texts. This man has been texting this girl for 3 weeks. Good morning texts, planning a date, actually locked in. She hits him with, and I'm reading this word for word. Hey, so I just got out of something and I think I need to be alone for a while. You're literally so sweet though. He said, okay, totally respected it. Didn't even double text. 2 days later, she posts a guy on her story, completely different dude. Tagged him, heart emojis, the whole thing. And then this is the part that actually made me nauseous. She texts my brother yesterday. Hey, stranger, what are you doing tonight? I miss talking to you. Miss talking to you. You left. You literally left, and now you're bored, so you're coming back. I owe men an apology. I had no idea y'all were dealing with this.
Hey, man, does size matter, Kyle? Do you think size matters to chicks?
Very long, because if it's not thick enough, I can add some fingers. If the size is important, I said it many times, I know you guys hate me, but size is very important. At least in my situation, I like to feel it everywhere. I like to feel
It's so much better with that crucifix hanging around her neck at the same time.
pain. I don't care about how thick is the, because it's thick and gets in. If it's thick and this big, well, I'm gonna do it. I like it very long, because if it's not thick enough, I can add some fingers next to it and make it as thick as I want. But I prefer the pain when it's big, goes all the way down, deep in my stomach. Definitely, size is important. If it's big, no, but if it's small, yes.
That's nasty. It is nasty, right? Isn't it nasty? Ugh.
The inability to find a partner is not some sort of social injustice. I don't think we have a male loneliness epidemic. I think we have an epidemic of undateable men. Stephen Bartlett asked if society should intervene to make sure men meet women. The only intervening society should do is putting systems in place that hold men accountable, teach them how to be better partners, teach them how to be better people, so that there's somebody that a woman would want to be with. We should,
because there's nothing wrong with women,
be educating men about incel and far-right propaganda and the hatred towards women and anything that will hold men accountable for their behaviors, rather than perpetuating this narrative that somehow women are responsible for a man's behavior.
Call her daddy.
Men are not entitled to pass on their genes or have a legacy. In fact, if anything, we learned about this in schools, natural selection. Hello, we're weeding this shit out. But there's no oppression for men who are not being chosen in the dating pool. And it's always about a man's legacy and passing on his genes instead of him just being a father and raising a child. Men's mental health, the rate of male suicide, these are all serious issues. Yes, they deserve attention, they deserve concern, and they deserve awareness. But control over women is not, and has never been, and never will be the answer to solve these things.
Yeah, I think that probably will be.
I already told him to walk, or he's fucking coming, and I told him to fucking walk. Exactly. You left me in that fucking hotel room, sick of the dog, while you went out and got fucked up. Bullshit! I would die for you. I would never fucking leave you in a fucking hotel room sick. I would never fucking leave you in a goddamn hotel room shit. I would give my fucking life for you, and you turn around and shit on me. The fuck you did. The fuck you did, man. No. I'm going home. And I'm going to fucking Dallas, Texas. Where the fuck I belong.
That, by the way, was not sent to me from anyone in the manosphere. That I got off of like Vegas Daily Instagram or some shit like that. Oh, too
read
real.
the data on what women find attractive, and it's actually, there's a lot of frustration on the internet because, yes, looking at a dude who's ripped with six-pack abs, like it looks nice and it's awesome and it feels cool, all that's great. But women look at also like what I would call like the golden gym god body, right? And they also can sense the life that comes along with that body, and it's kind of like meh. Like that's the guy that can't just sit with me on the couch and have a piece of pizza every once in a while. That's the guy that's going to go spend 2 hours in the gym instead of listening to me talk about my day. And what's fascinating is the body
and
that most women said this is the apex, this is what we find super attractive, was a fit guy, but not a ripped guy. And what it tells me is the confident guy, the guy that stands tall, the guy that believes he's worth exercising and also believes, yeah, dude, I'll have a beer. That's the guy that she married. That's the guy she met. That's the guy she can anchor into.
Yeah, that's the guy whose balls like shrivel up. Seriously, man, your balls actually go smaller. Bring me out. That's all I got today. I'm gonna wait until Fresh shows up. Now I get to ad lib until these guys show up. Yeah, that's my life. Thanks. Hey, welcome back to the Rational Male. Welcome to. Hey, you can bring that around. Cool. This is gonna be a very casual stream today. Just letting everybody know firsthand. Yeah, I was gonna say that. Let's focus a little down. I haven't done the show here in like 2 weeks. But yeah. So we got Fresh from Fresh and Fit. My good friend Walt coming in. He should be here any minute. He told me he was be here in about 8 minutes ago. So we'll see. Also got your brother's coming in. Miguel's coming in, and then we also got Mike Sartain, who just decided he was going to spontaneously start his own podcast, his live stream, just a couple days ago. So good luck with that. I'm helping him out, and I'm on Kick now too. I'm not on this stream, but like I will be. Access Vegas will be on Kick on the next one. So Mike kind of went crazy on his streams. Like he's like multi-streaming to like he's streaming to Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and I'm trying to think who else. He does Instagram too, but he puts his phone there and does an Instagram live and just lets it, which you kind of have to because Instagram like won't let you do jack shit. Yeah, so we're more multi-platforming right now, and I'm wondering if this ain't actually the wave of the future, honestly, because you kind of have to. Like, if I just relied on the audience on YouTube, like right now, what are we at? We're at 277. I would say a good like half of that is generated by Twitter right now. Yeah, and I'll tell you the other thing that's funny is like whenever I'm doing, I live stream occasionally. I'll live stream my band practices with Jinx, right? And we'll be in there, and I used to do it on Instagram Lives, thinking like, oh man, there'll be a lot of people that'll like to see this. 7 people are watching, right? I switch it over to Twitter. I've got like 800 people watching. I'm like, oh shit. So there is that. Yeah. What else we got going on? Oh, back from Miami. Miami was quite the experience, I have to say. White Party was good. It was fun. Made a lot of memories out there. A lot of the guys in the Reignite group really came through. We learned some valuable lessons, I think. Every time I do an event with my guys, whether it's here in Vegas or it's in Miami or Los Angeles sometimes, we will go to the event. We do a build up. We get the guys together. Sometimes we'll do like conversation skills. We'll practice we'll have like mock conversations with some girls that we know. We'll come in and like, give them live feedback. Because a lot of these guys are just trying to get back into the game. They're just trying to get their skills back, or sort of just, at least get themselves social instead of isolating themselves and everything. And my guys did good. I'm very proud of each and every one of them. We had a good time. We did the fishing trip on off Bill and Office, which is Captain Nelson Delatorre. That's what his name is. So if you are in Miami, you need to go get a fishing charter. That's the guy to go to. I feel like he's like my uncle that I go and visit like once a year, you know. He's just so fucking cool. He's such a cool dude. So we went out, came back, had a full day's fishing out there. We went to I never been to this place before. We went to a rooftop bar called Sugar in Miami at the top of one of the hotels that's out there. And that was a lot of fun, but it was educational because I got to talk to the guys when I was there. And I said, look, because they have no clue. A lot of these guys have no clue. They've never been around this caliber of women, much less any women at all, right? It's certainly not locally. So they live in, most of them live in places that don't really have a nightlife. And so for them to go out and like sort of mingle and actually be social is kind of a new experience for them. So we're at at Sugar, and I tell everybody, I said, just stop for a minute and said, now look around you. What do you think the demographic is here? 25 to 35, maybe 40, right? And I said, how much money do you think the average person in this room makes in Miami? So we go through that. And I said, so first what you need to do is you need to read the environment, right? What's the club like, right? You got to read the sort of the social situation. It costs $100 per person to have a table. So if you got 4 people, that's $400 for that table. So that's should tell you what Sugar's about, right? Drinks are $35, and that's cheap. Like for a rum and Coke, it's like $35. So what kind of woman goes to this? And now we've established what the environment is like. What kind of woman comes here? Well, you know, of course, everybody in the chat's like, they're gold diggers. It's those sluts from Miami that go out there. No, they're not. They're actually very high, high quality women. They're just out there, mingling with the high quality men that everybody says that they want, right? That's the game you got to play. So, but anyway, so we're out there, and it was interesting because these guys get it. They understand the environment. They understand what, their situation. So, but it was good. And then we got to the white party. The white party was great. I enjoy doing the white party for a lot of reasons. One is it gives me a chance to sort of I don't know, do photo ops, and the optics are good, no doubt. But it's a chance for people to like meet me live in person. And I never really looked at it that way. Because like when I would go to Babes in Toyland back in the day when we first started Access Vegas, I mean, people knew me. It was great. I was kind of overwhelmed that there were so many people that knew me. But now I'm kind of used to it. And so I think I did probably 3 spontaneous like interviews around the thing. I can't walk from one end of the event to the other without having 6 or 8 people hit me up for a selfie or something. And I know that sounds like I'm glossing myself. Oh yeah, so fucking famous. No, it's just a chance to get, it's for just people to ask questions and talk to me and all that. So that there's that aspect of it too. And it's also nice to be around 300 gorgeous fucking who have already just walked into the swimsuit show. That's kind of a plus for it as well. But it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I would suggest if you guys want to go to the next one, our next event is going to be here. Well, there's another Babes in Toyland that's coming up on in Los Angeles, June 3rd. I don't have any Reignite event planned for that, but we do for August 6th right here in Las Vegas. It will be Swim Week Las Vegas. And that's when Fashion Week, I don't know what the hell to call it, but I don't care, swimwear, right? And so there'll be there's a lot of various events going on around Swim Week. It's the first week of August. And then it kind of sums up at, I think we're going to do it at Sahara again, at the pool at Sahara. And that's Babes in Toyland. And that one's also very well attended. It's a bit one of the bigger ones as well. So that's coming up on August 6th. And again, if this is something you guys want to do, hit me up, hit up Joe Marone. All the links that you need are right down in the description. But we're going to, in the coming days, our team, our media team is already working on, doing the post-production for the videos that we shot. We got a lot of pictures. If you've been following me on Instagram, you've probably seen a few of them already, but it's great. It's fun too. I think what people really don't get out of this is when you just see the pictures, it seems like, oh, that's so pretentious, man. These guys everybody just wants to look good. Yeah, well, yeah, that's what they're fucking there for, right? Why are you there? And
I thought it was funny because like I've been like I know I didn't. Okay, full disclosure, I didn't do this on purpose, but I'm going to tell you anyways. Mike has been locking horns with Paul Elam recently, and I swear to God, I did not set this up. I thought it was funny because Paul Elam had said something about like going to social gatherings and like meeting people that way. I go, oh, so you agree with Mike Sartain and social circle game, right? And of course, Elam hates me because anything that comes out of my mouth is like from the enemy. So now I guess there's been this dialogue between Elam and Mike, and I don't know where that's going to go. When Mike comes in here, maybe I'll bring it up. But he wanted to do some kind of debate, and like Mike's like, "Hey, are you in for this debate?" I'm like, and it reminded me of the debate I did with Alex from Playing with Fire. I go, dude, I'm like, yeah, it's your turn. You get to deal with the Spurg. But I'm interested to see how that will go down. So Mike is like sort of accepted some sort of, I don't know, debate conversation or something with him. I don't know when or where it's going to happen. No date has been set as far as I know. I mean, I'll go because just so because Mike is my brother and I always have my brother's back. That's why I'll do this. Right. So anyways, that's going to come up at some point. But one of the things that kind of got me is whenever I go to these events or like whenever you do anything, like Kyle, you're at the gym, right? You go to the gym, you lift. How often do you lift?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't have a mic.
Yeah.
Just shout it out. How often do you lift?
4 times a week.
4 times a week. 4 times a week. Okay. So do you have like fitness goals? Is there something that you want to do? Like in particular? Plug it in. Yeah. So the reason I'm asking is because
I got goals.
I wrote a piece. Actually, it's in I think it's in my first book or it's in the second book, but it's called Crisis of Motive. And I figured this out a long time ago because I used to work in wine and spirits. And I had this conversation with this one chick, and I've had this conversation with girls in fact, we just did it recently on Access Vegas. And the girls will always say something like, you've probably heard this before, where a girl will say, I dress this way for me. I don't dress. I'm not doing this for any guy or anything like that. It's like, come on, man. Can we just cut this shit? It's okay that you dress for, I don't care. I don't think any less of you because you want to dress like sexy.
I want to be looked as a specimen when I walk in.
Right. I want to be the guy that when I go to Bel Air and I want to be the guy who's like the husband of the wife who's like, damn, I want to get with that. How did she get that dude? Like that's
exactly
like what? And why not? Why is that fucking wrong? So Crisis of Motive. I wrote this thing and I had this conversation with one of the girls who was doing my liquor promos one time, and she was just screeching, let's just say, about how she dresses the way she does for her. And I go, okay, fine. So if I came over to your house at 4:00 tomorrow and you're going to be vacuuming the apartment or whatever, I said, I'm going to find you in lingerie like this, and you're going to be in stockings and garter belt and all this other stuff, or whatever it is that you do, you go clubbing, and you're going to look like that and not in sweatpants and t-shirt. Well, I want to be comfortable at home. And like, bullshit. You just said you do it for you. So why wouldn't you want to do it all the time?
It's to feel attractive.
Randomly. And I'm
attention.
Like, no, it's just the reason why I called it Crisis of Motive is because people think that if somebody's doing something, it's got to be for some reason. Oh, Miguel's coming. Okay, cool. So it's got to be for some fucking reason. I see if Fresh should be down there, or have Miguel. Oh wait, wait. He just texted me. Okay, Fresh says 5 minutes. Okay, he'll be there in 5. Okay, good. So if you see him down there, grab him. We have to let people into the building so like crazies don't come and like stalk us. So I was like looking at the this old essay I wrote. It's called Crisis of Motive, right? And really, what it is like, why can't it be both? Why can't it be both? Like if I go to the gym, or like it's the similar situation is like guys will always say, well, the only reason you go to the gym is because you're trying to get girls. And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, well, that's you do everything for chicks. everything you do is for the way you dress, the way you look, you lift weights, do all this other stuff. Like I think this has become a little bit more in vogue because of like looks maxing and clavicular right now. So it seems like very superficial. It seems like very sort of self-serving. I don't know, whatever. But the thing is like if you go to the gym, like can it be like I go to work out because I want to be in shape. I just had major surgery not too long ago, and even my surgeon said, you know, one of the reasons it was easier to do, technically had emergency surgery within the surgery. He says one of the reasons that was easier to do it is because you're in shape. You're in better shape. I don't have to cut through, 7 layers of fucking fat to get where I need to get to, right? If you're in an automobile accident or a motorcycle accident, if you're in shape, you're going to probably be more survivable than if you're not in shape, right? It's a pretty much no brainer. But the very fact that you might actually also, because you're getting in shape, that you also might have a better sex life as a result of that, like that's wrong. But if you do it because you want to be healthy and you want to be able to lift heavy things and you want to do something, athletics or something like that, and why would you do athletics in the first place if you didn't want, to show off your physical prowess so like women would want to get with you? And it's just like, it's crazy to me that you can apply that sort of madness to like anything. And so why would I do a podcast? Why would I look like this? Why would I have Fresh come in here? Why would I just step out of that? Why would you put on deodorant, right, in the morning? Well, you only put on deodorant because you want girls to think you smell good all the time. You don't always smell. You're faking it. You don't always smell like that. And so what's the first thing like Scott Galloway or something this guy say? Well, you need to go and, get a haircut and put on nice clothes and put on some deodorant and wash your hair or something like these basic hygiene stuff, which sounds like dad, like schooling and, scolding, junior, like fuck off with that. Like who doesn't fucking put on, like if you're at the point where you have to be told that you got to take a shower and you got to wear some, up your style and you need to put on deodorant and you need to do the basics. I think there's like, we're not even in that conversation mode just yet. But the thing is like, why would you do anything if it wasn't for fucking, right? If it wasn't for, the fact that the probability of you actually getting pussy is there because you did that. Why did you want to become a doctor? Well, of course, because doctors are rich and chicks love doctors, right? Why did you want to become a fireman? Well, I wanted to save babies from burning buildings. Oh, no, you didn't. You just wanted to be in the sexy fireman calendar, right? You can make anything up out of that. Anything fits into that. Anything works with that. So when somebody's saying like, remember, this is not just for guys. This is also for women too, right? So like when women say, that I don't dress this way for men. No, you do. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You could say, hey, I like the way I look. Good. You like the way you look, the way you will go out and have a good time with your friends and stuff like that. Awesome. But you also are doing it for, you're hanging out with your friends, but you're also doing it because you want to draw attention to yourself. So fucking what? Like it's, both can be true at the same time. You can do both at the same time. But the thing is when you're focusing on just like sort of the, whatever qualifies as like superficial, and quite honestly, I don't like that word superficial because what qualifies as superficial? Like what's fake? What's posing? Whatever. People are like, oh, Rolo, take that beanie off. I took the beanie off, by the way. This beanie off yesterday, or no, 2 days ago. And then I did it on Fresh. If you haven't seen the episode of me and Myron and Mike from last Friday, the Friday before when we were in Miami, I waited until the end of the show. And I even asked Myron, are we at the end of the show? He goes, yeah. I said, okay, because I'm waiting to do this. And I took the beanie off. And so people ask me like, well, you took the beanie off. Why are you still wearing it? I go, because it's kind of like people recognize me because I have the beanie on right now. I'll take it off. But like, I don't care at this point. Because I'm kind of like moving past that sort of phase. But it's like, I thought about this. And I'm like, I think I'm still going to keep the beanie, but I'll just take it off occasionally. Because it's one of the things that sort of makes me identifiable. Kind of like Tim Pool. If you saw Tim Pool with no beanie on and he was walking through, I don't know, Dallas airport, he just looked like anybody else that was there. But and I love Tim. This is not a dig on Tim, but like, like if he didn't have that beanie on, you wouldn't know it was Tim Pool. There's certain things that make guys like identifiable, right? Well, why are you wearing that? Or I love it when I get well, how come he dresses like, why does he wear muscle shirts? Why does he wear those? Why does he wear an Invincible shirt? Why does he looks like he's 14? Why does that bother you? Why is that? Why? Well, do you think that anything I say is going to be less valid because of how I look when I'm delivering the message? Well, you don't know what I look like when you read my books. You don't, there's no, the information is still the information. But, people will say, well, if you just put on a 3-piece suit or something like that and you look more professorial, people will take you more seriously. No, they wouldn't. I would be unidentifiable. And by the way, if I did that, would you have more respect for me for doing what I think everybody wants me to do? Or would you have more respect for me if I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to be as comfortable as I can and this is just what I like to do? Oh, you shouldn't play in that band anymore. Do you know how old you? Can you imagine? I love it. I was talking to Phil Labonte from All That Remains. He's a regular on Tim Pool, good friend, good dude. And I remember one time, like I asked him this. It was off the air, but I asked him about this. I said, do you get hate like for being like, because he's in the 50s. I think he's 54. So he's like just a couple of years, 4 years younger than I am, right? I said, do you get any hate for like being in a band at your age? He goes, dude, all the fucking time. But it's because people don't know he's Phil fucking Labonte in All That Remains. So people will see him like on Instagram and they'll be like, oh, imagine being his age and doing that. I'm like, yeah, you're only going to ever imagine it. Hey, there we are. We didn't see Fresh down there? He said he was going to be 5 minutes. Yeah?
We were over here. He's from.
Oh, he's probably coming in from the other entrance. Oh, okay.
Are you live right now?
Yeah, I'm live.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I'll hop in right now.
Miguel's here. Okay. Fresh is on Barbados time. Yeah. Fresh in Miami is on Fresh time. Fresh in Las Vegas is on Barbados time for sure. Man, did you hear about the Abba and Preach stuff that's been going down?
It was impossible not to hear.
God. That's all I heard about when we were there.
There's always something, man. There's always something.
And okay. So when all that shit went, I don't know if you remember this, but this was back in like 2021.
Okay.
And when I first started working with Myron and Fresh, I think it was August. It was August of 2021. Yeah. And that was the first time there was any kind of like scandal. There was any kind of like pushback.
Right.
And it was Abba and Preach who were fucking with them. Right. And Abba and Preach were on Fresh and Fit. And they were on in, I think, June or May of 2021.
Right.
And like they had the roommates on there too. They had some people who hate them now. Like they've been on the show, right?
They put them on.
Put them on, right?
Yeah.
And so at some point in August of 2021, Abba and Preach started like talking shit about them, and these guys don't treat women right, and they were trying to say that like Myron had some sort of like secret chick that he was flying out from LA or something. And so people believed it and they lost like 30,000 fucking subs for that. Hey, there he is. Finally.
Hey,
come take your seat,
up,
man. Mike's coming too. Mike will be here. He said probably about an hour. So what's up? What's up, man? How are you? Let's sit down. We're live right now.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
They said you're not on Miami time. You're on Barbados time.
I'm on nigga time, man.
This is my show. We can do whatever the hell we want.
I'm on nigga time, man.
Yep. Yeah. You got a new show now, right?
Yeah.
What's it called?
After Hours.
305 or 304?
What
are you calling it?
3 shows. I have Fresh and Fit with me and Myron.
Uh-huh.
I have 305 me and Gary. I have After Hours just me, celebrity guests, streamers, influencers, hot girls, 101, more intimate. We're down to earth. Yeah.
So you're just doing kind of like what we're doing right now, where you just have like I think I've seen some of them already.
Because you know what it is, bro? A lot of people want to talk to me and tell me things they don't want to tell other people because I'm cool with them, and they'll sit on camera with me alone. Yeah. So that's my angle with the whole one-on-one.
Mike just launched his live stream. Well, he did a test.
I just saw him on Instagram yesterday.
That's why I was just mentioning he's on like so many different platforms right now.
Yeah, he was like mentioning 14 platforms.
But I don't know how good an idea that is.
But you have to because
you kind of do now.
Yeah.
Because think about it. We were so platform agnostic in a way. Well,
on YouTube. YouTube is everything.
And if you look at it, YouTube has demonetized us. They've taken us off the program. They've shadow banned us to an extent. And it's kind of like, if you want to expand and grow your brand, how can you do that on one platform?
You want to know something? Charlie just lost his channel.
Yeah, he got deleted.
His channel got deleted off of YouTube.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Just 2 days ago. Yep.
Cultivate Crypto.
See what I mean? And that's crypto.
We're about to stream on Rumble now. Like we have to.
It's not even like a a bad platform. You're teaching people about crypto.
Dude, I always thought it was gonna be my channel first. Because I say way crazier shit than Charlie.
It's not even a red pill. I would expect it to be something like that.
I actually say some red pill content on my show and stuff like that, but
I don't think that's it though. I think that there's something they switched the algorithm over to Gemini, and Gemini is
AI.
like ruthless.
It's AI. Yeah. Like for example, we were demonetized. We have a better chance now than before because it's just AI. So it's kind of like, yeah, dude. I
think it was the algorithm switching, and they people got wrapped up in like the purge.
I think we're going to get it back because he wasn't doing anything. Basically, from what we could figure out, it was like they're going after content of like so there's like, you ever seen those streams where people are like live streaming other people's content for like 24 hours, that sort of stuff. So they're trying to go after that. So I think Charlie was sharing a not a news article but a news clip, and he wasn't on the screen at the time. He was talking, and while I was playing, they probably thought that this guy's just a rebroadcaster channel, right? And then they axed his whole channel.
Yeah. They thought it was reused content.
Well, you can always appeal.
Oh no, definitely. But they didn't give us any. They didn't give us a strike. They just like deleted it. We're like,
but this is why I'm so big on Rumble, because with Rumble, you can do what you want, say what you want, and of course, it's not as, I want to say, hot and sexy for marketing as YouTube.
Yeah.
But you have the actual platform to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Right. Say what you need to say.
I was gonna say that it's like I'm on Rumble, and we put Access Vegas on Rumble, and I did that just as a fail safe. I mean, we're still on YouTube, but when we started doing Access, because I have a bigger following than Mike, and because we're relaunching, we were launching a new channel when we did it. So like Access Vegas is just this side of 10,000 subs, right?
Yeah.
But then again, subs don't mean shit anymore.
No. So just to your point, Rolo, I give this actual industry 3 to 4 more years. I'll tell you what.
Podcasting or live streaming,
live streaming.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
But think about it. Netflix is trying to get into live streaming full time.
Yep.
Hollywood is
Spotify
dead
too.
Yeah, Hollywood's dead.
Companies are saying, you know what? Rather than spend $5 million on a billboard, I'd rather pay a creator that streams to market my products.
It's true.
You know, enter in casinos, enter in, actual brand deals.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they going? To streamers, and they're some of the most sought after creators now on the planet.
Yeah.
I just came from Brandwurst, Aiden Ross's event, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at the talent there, it's mostly creators, but they're making bags of money.
Yeah.
Now our industry is pretty much clean cut. We add value, sell the product or service, we get the value back from the viewers, and we push that more and more and more.
Correct.
But if you think about it, what's the better ROI? If I stream content, whether entertainment, a good laugh, and fun, companies can pay me up to $200K a month.
Yeah.
Just because of that.
Just to do the show.
We're grinding our ass off. And by the way, chat, obviously we will always add value, but like, think about it. They're doing bare minimum entertainment, getting paid 10x what we get paid. Mm-hmm. So the industry is leaning towards this, and at some point it's going to phase out everyone else. So my point is, even in our space, as far as views go and subs go, the actual real metric now isn't really that. It's how well can you market yourself to a company to survive what's coming next. That's the biggest thing.
Right.
And as a creator, look at it from this standpoint. Because this is why I made my own agencies, because you're better off being cool with an owner of a company than anything else. Because look at Aiden Ross and Kick and Eddie.
Yeah.
Him being cool with Eddie is where Aiden is today. Is why Aiden is where he is today. Same thing with us. Like Rumble. It's kind of like you need to align yourself with a platform that has your ideals and your values.
And you let the charge on that for Rumble for Fresh and Fit.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Without certain things in place, we wouldn't be here today. But that's my point. Our content is so value driven and so like real that some companies are like, you know what? This is good for this lane, but not for our advertisers.
Exactly.
And as a result, you know what? You make us money, but we don't need you that much. Goodbye.
Right.
And then how do we help people out that need help?
Right.
We need an outlet.
So but how did you make the decision as a channel of yours? Because you guys were like during that, before you guys lost monetization and stuff. I mean, you guys were like the fastest growing channel on YouTube. Yeah. I mean, I think you guys had the most amount of live streamers basically.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dude, it was crazy at the time, right?
Back in like 2021, like August, summer.
Yeah, we would stream Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week, 2 years straight.
God, man.
No one has ever done that since.
Yeah. Because I remember when we were in 21, we were going to Miami to go on your show every 2 to 3 months. Every time we go live, double the views.
Yeah.
Literally, like we were like, oh wow, like 1,500 live, 3,000. I remember one show we were like 8,000 people live. We're like, whoa, dude. And that's not even counting like the extra reviews later, just live views and stuff, just YouTube only. We're like, whoa.
Can I tell you this though?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. people made a joke about me. Pressure fell off because my viewers on live, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't understand, like, that doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
What matters is your actual connection to a company. And the funny part is, I make more money now with less views. How's that possible? And it's because I built relationships. But just back to what you're saying now, if I'm someone that wants to get into this content space, I'm not trying to go out crazy and be a full, like, blown, like, idiot online and get views. No. I want to understand, okay, if I'm going to do entertainment, where can I go for the best bang for my buck? Because look, you can say all day, oh, I'm not in it for the money. Bro, you're lying to yourself and the audience. Every creator wants to make money. That's how you sustain your platform. That's how you build your audience. You build also, well, your marketing. You need actual rev share from your content. Right. If you don't get that, you're just dumb, honestly. However, luckily for us, we can add value at the same time as getting paid, which is hard to come by because most creators do this dumb shit. Yeah. My point is, in the repo space especially, we have the foundation people don't have.
Right. It's already
all they have is a fun joke, whatever, a couple funny moments. That's all they have. We have real value. Now, for us to survive, I think, from this period of time here with this current marketplace, Hollywood is dead. It's really dead, bro. And I know it's because some people flew creators out there to LA to get the sauce from them.
Right.
You probably know who I'm talking about. One of the biggest in the space. And it's like, why are they going to play somebody out to LA, private meeting, to pay them hundreds of millions of dollars to tell them how to clip? It's because they want our sauce and they want to know how to market it themselves.
Yeah.
My point,
they're trying to make a template out of what
they want to know how we did what we did to stay relevant all this time.
Is that why, like, their agencies are hooking up with, like, the social media agencies to, like, show up on an IRL stream? Like, hey, what, like, whoa, like, I'm showing up in the speedathon, you know, randomly.
I'll give you an example. Same thing yesterday, Brownrist, right?
Yeah.
It was full of creators. Now look at what Brownrist is. It is a fighting, I want to say, machine. We bring creators, celebrities to fight on a card.
Right.
However, that's not good to monetize directly because you got to pay.
On this?
You got to pay the fighters whatever money you want to pay them, which is a lot of money. Then you got to pay for the venue. It's a bunch of money you got to spend.
Yeah, of course.
However, look at the marketing.
Yeah.
Guess what's going to happen when you bring creators? They're going to stream.
Yeah.
They're going to get content, and it just blows your shit up. So imagine this: I'm a sponsor. I'm like, if I had to put up a logo or a video, I could pay Billboard in Vegas, I don't know.
How much a month? Yeah.
Yeah.
$50K a month.
$50K a month. Yeah.
$100K a month. Yeah. Just to put my board. Dude, we drive all the time on the road. Who's looking at fucking Billboard? Nobody. Right. Or I could pay a creator or Aiden Ross to put a placement of my ad on the screen.
No.
In the building. It's eyeballs.
Yeah.
So ultimately, my point is, I think this space is changing, and even as a red pill influencer, if you don't adapt now, you're gonna die.
Yeah. I remember that one time. This was a couple of years ago. I remember Myron once said, "He says, you know, the days of like just sitting in your home studio and just yammering on about whatever, you know, and it doesn't have to be red pill stuff." He said the days of just sitting down and just doing it solo, he says, those are gone. You have to like up your game. And that's when I realized I wanted to do Access Vegas. And I started working with, we tried to make it work out with Valuetainment. That didn't happen. And then we brought it back to Vegas thanks to this guy.
You know what I would love? To do a show with Rolo every week. Because he's of an older generation and has the values that we still need. I'm just like, I'm younger, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also like able to talk to young people. Talk to old people. I'm like in the middle right now.
Yeah.
So I see both sides and I'm like, damn, like they want to be more, I want to say geared towards a wholesome direction, but social media itself just brainwashed them.
Yeah.
And our generation is like, yo, I don't understand these dumb kids. Why are they doing this stuff? It's because it's social media. That's how they grew up with a laptop and iPad in their face. It's like, how do I break this spell? But it's
well, and then they've also like got it down to a science as far as like the psychology, like human psychology. And I don't think enough people really realize like this is kind of like in me and Mike's wing house, anyways, when it comes to like when it comes to the site, like human psychology and what people swipe on and what they don't, right? What they click on and what they don't.
Yeah.
There's a reason why TikTok videos that are 45 seconds long are popular, right? There's a reason for, and how does like something like a TikTok or a reel or something like that, how does that go viral? It's down to a science, and it doesn't matter what the content actually is. It's how the content is delivered. So you can be selling, ramen noodles or some shit like that, and that can go viral. And your very important message about like some red pill truth dies on the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you had delivered it like ramen noodles, it would have gone viral and people would have loved it.
Yeah.
So you just described something that's very important in the space. It's called distribution. So if you're a creator or just an audience member, right? How do you see content? Is it value or is it a method behind the scenes you don't see? And look at Clavicular, right?
Mhm.
He basically showed the world that you don't have to have much of a strategy. All you have to have is a foundation, whether it's beauty,
A competency. Yeah.
and industry talk, looks maxing, red pill, but you need a vehicle to get that out there.
That is his greatest strength, is the ability to just jam it out there.
Yeah.
And then you've probably seen the video already. I've talked about it as well, but like I know for a fact, and I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong, but I know for a fact that the guy had like 2 billion paid views in April and part of May, right? As a result of being on Kick, and the Kick, of course, funds him. Of course they do.
Yeah.
Well, they're not gonna. It's their biggest star. Of course, they're gonna put the money into this guy. He's got something like 1,610 like re-streamers or reviewer, like that basically did exactly what Clippers did exactly what Andrew Tate did in 2022, and then industrialized it, turned it into a machine. He like Tate pioneered it because he was doing it solo. He was like, join our group and we'll pay you to, you'll get X amount of dollars. You can be a member, whatever. And he became the quote unquote most downloaded guy or the most searched guy on the internet, right? As a result of he gamed the algorithm, but he did everything by the book. He didn't cheat. He just got enough guys to go and play by the rules. And he got fucked for it, in August of 2022, because that's when he got deplatformed and all his money, payment processors all got, clipped. But he did.
He played by the rules.
He played by the rules.
Yeah.
And you know where he learned that? Was from the AMC GameStop. What was that called? What's the name?
Dumb Money. The Dumb Money.
Like, it was did you see the Netflix documentary on it?
Yeah, it's about it's Wall Street Bets, but it's like the GameStop
AMC theater, and they got enough people. They crowdsourced it enough, and they said, "We're going to buy this, and we're going to hold it, and we're going to fuck those guys over." And that's when, Robin Hood decided they weren't going to put a hold on the trades, and they played by the rules.
Yeah,
they played by, and you know who was in that? I was surprised too, because I watched that on that Netflix documentary. Andrew Tate's right there doing he's part of the whole thing, and I think that's where he learned that. Where he learned let's crowdsource all of this stuff. We'll play by the rules, but if you get enough people to do it, then you can overwhelm the algorithm.
Absolutely.
It's exactly what Clav is doing. It's Aiden's doing it. He's number 2 on that list too. And I'm not saying
it's big spend too. It's big spend. It's big money.
Well, it costs money to do that. But if you have if you got a big spender like Kick who wants to build their platform, they're going to spend that on them. And if you're in the right place at the right time, what's funny to me is people keep asking me hey, Rolo, what do you think of this new looks maxing thing? New? What the fuck are you talking about? Do you remember looks or face in LMS? And does anybody remember the looks maxers have been around? Black pill.
It came from the black.
When people talk, I love it when people go, what are these incels? I'm like, they're the guys who used to be in the true forced loneliness like user groups, right? These are the guys who are like the forever alones on 4chan, right? Yeah. And they were offshoots really of the MRAs, and then the black pillars decided to go one way, MGTOWs went another way, MRAs went
we talked about it right before I think it was one of the first streams you did in Las Vegas, or right before he came to Vegas. We literally, you made all these predictions about where the red pill was going to go into politics. What was one of the things I said? I was like, looks maxing going to start blowing up. And because I saw that whole segment, because I was like, I knew because obviously it was the guys who came up with the looks maxing stuff were all kind of basically me and Fresh's age and older, basically. And I knew at some point you're going to get the Zoomers coming in.
Oh yeah.
Eventually the Zoomers are going to get cucked out by the Generation Alpha at some point too.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
This is for the audience, only for Rolo stream.
My Rolo.
Put my black shades on for the black pill as well.
There we go. Oh wait. Okay.
So just so you guys know. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Off-white. Okay.
You bought these for me.
I know, man. Of course.
People don't.
I appreciate that. But listen, Kick has a monopoly on the streaming industry. I'll tell you why. Kick has literally bought out most clippers on X.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Don't ask how I know, but I know because there's a spreadsheet of all the clippers.
Yep.
Yeah, that was in the documentary.
If
you're talking about the pages on Twitter on X. Yeah, that's I was gonna. Yeah.
Now imagine, right? If I own the Clippers and I'm their budget, I basically give them all they want for budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they turn on me? And then let's say, for example, I want to take them from Kick. If I'm a guy with a lot of money, I'll just pay them out. The problem is Kick has longevity because they have unlimited funds, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, the owner has a lot of money and shit like that. Owners. Anyhow, my point is if I'm going to try to beat Kick, I have to pay the Clippers way more than they're getting paid right now.
Yeah.
Now, who would spend that much money just to outbeat Kick? What's the ROI? There is none.
Yeah.
Because you can't outbeat them. You know why? They're not funded by a return on a dollar. They're funded by gambling.
That is true.
And all I need is eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
If I can create eyeballs for these companies, they'll pay me. So remember I said before, subs don't matter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Views don't really matter that much. I mean, they help a lot, of course, but they're not the main end all be all. But exposure is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can expose myself to millions of people, like millions of people with clips, then I have eyeballs on all my stuff. How do you beat that? You can't.
Do you remember when it was in 2021? And when you guys first came on and I came on the show in January of 2021, I was at like 85,000 subs. And you guys were like 30,000 subs. By March, you guys were already passed me up. And then I think it was April of that year, you guys hit 100,000. So you got there before I did. And then I hit 100,000 on the show in like May or something like that. And then I was slowly going, and you guys kept snowballing after that. But do you remember when we first got that fucking platinum plaque, 100,000 fucking subs? And
we were so excited.
I was reading this thing about how the algorithm had switched over to Gemini and Google had changed everything, and they're just basically saying, "Yeah, subs don't matter." I'm like, but I got this platinum thing on my wall. I was so fucking proud of it.
It's funny. We champion those plaques like they're actually like
they mean something,
but they really don't.
They don't.
At some point, they did back in the day. It's kind of like a blue check mark on Instagram.
Right.
Oh, I'm verified. It meant something in the past.
Yeah.
And I was like, every
you
pay.
have to have it so you can like get the premium services now.
So things have changed. And look, I'm just saying this as a creator as well. I'm realizing you don't have to work as hard anymore. You just got to work smart.
Yeah.
If you build a platform from obviously years of putting in work and time and effort, you have what companies want. Now, this distribution and marketing in the correct way can make millions overnight. Literally, you can make millions. Yeah. Like I was at Brandris yesterday. I met some creators. They're 20 years old, bro. 19 years old, making 400K a month. I'm like, how's this possible? You're not on YouTube like that. You're not on Twitch. What are you doing? Oh, I'm gonna gambling.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I'm not saying gambling is end all be all.
So they're making money by gambling on Kick.
No,
they're making money from there. So they're being
the crypto online casinos are paying them bags just for exposure.
Oh, just for exposure. Okay.
So, it's the easiest money you can make today. Now, what's that going to do? Does anyone know?
Well,
it's going to distort the marketplace.
Yeah.
Because now it's going to become the main streaming content or streaming like I guess sponsors for creators. Which means if you're not gambling.
Yeah, you're falling behind because you don't have the ad spend.
You can't beat them, bro. So it's kind of unfair because how do you combat that?
Right.
And even if you use your own money, it can never meet up to what the money they're going to spend on creators. Look at, for example, if I have an unlimited budget to put clips out there and create massive distribution, how do you beat that?
Yeah.
There's one way, but does anyone know?
No. What is it? What's the one way? Tell me quickly.
I can't say it on camera.
Okay.
But this is what I will say because I'm actually doing this for company right now. Mm-hmm. You have to understand that this industry is rigged.
Yeah.
If you understand that industry is rigged, is the game being played? Those two things have to be on the table first. Right. And from there, if I'm a creator, how do I maximize my value to my audience? One, but maybe money at the same time. If you do those two things simultaneously, you can win. But just keep in mind, you need clips. And this is one way you could do it, kind of like your own, I guess, ecosystem. You have to create your own clippers that have big pages to push your content.
Yeah.
But guess what I said earlier? Kick owns most of them.
Yeah. And I was,
but what you can do, and it's just some free value here.
Aren't the Clippers like they're like in Pakistan, right? They're like in countries where they can pay them less, and it's still a really great wage for them.
They're everywhere.
There's two tiers. There's like Clippers is like a broad term, right? So there's like the regular Clippers, like sort of like how Tate sort of did. Like he had his guys just start off pages for the first time.
Yeah, well, he started his own kick basically. Like he had his own thing going.
But there's established pages, brands like in hip hop, right? There's only like so many big million follower like hip hop brand pages. Once those pages are locked in, it takes a long time for like maybe every 4 years you get maybe one new hip hop page or two hip hop pages that hit like 1 million, 3 million views. By controlling most of those big legacy pages, they have people that just follow them casually, and then those clips start going out, and then you can't. It's the same thing. This is starting to happen even in the crypto space. There's like 2 Zoomer guys I know they're affiliated with Kick and stuff like that, and they're everywhere. They're getting no views on their videos, but like I cannot help but see their views and stuff. And then because you see them, they start getting famous.
Can you tell you this?
Yeah,
they'll make more money from clips than views on their stream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, obviously.
And you might say, oh, they fell off. They're making millions or making a lot of money because what do sponsors see? They see, okay, this guy's everywhere. We'll pay you. That's all. That's all it takes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Views don't matter. But like back in the day, you're 10K watching. Oh, you're amazing. Now it's like, how do you distribute your content?
Right.
Remember, people's like, I want to say, viewpoints are for attention are very low. Look at TikTok. You just scroll up and down.
Yeah,
dude, they don't want to see an hour stream, start 2 hour stream. They want to see maybe 30 minutes max,
if that,
and clips.
The hot take,
and that's it. Clip and back to work, back to someone else. So the industry's changed a lot
with the subtitles on because they don't have the volume up.
So you have to think about what does the audience want to see, and to be honest, look at who your audience is. It's someone either a disabled veteran, or someone that doesn't have a job, or has like low, like I want to say, real world responsibility, because to sit on a stream all day and watch it, bro, you got to be like doing nothing. Because if you're working, you can watch it after you finish work, but not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you're watching it while you work, which is actually pretty smart.
Right? Yeah, that's what a lot of my audience does. I've been doing. I think I 100% agree with you. I need to actually like diversify as far as like doing clips kind of stuff, because people keep telling me I need to do more short form stuff, right? And I'm looking at this and I'm going, well, what's the sort of sweet spot for a short form video? And you're looking at 8 to 12 minutes. Like 30 minutes is too long. But even then, even if you have that, you still got to have people rebroadcasting that over and over again. People got to cut and copy and paste. And if you don't have even a small army, behind you to do that, you're never going to reach the levels of quote unquote popularity. That's why I laugh when people like, if I say something about looks maxing and then people go, is he talking about clavicular? I'm like, I like clavicular. I don't have a problem with them. But if you even like hint that, the army will come after you because they're part of the Clippers, right? Yeah. They'll oh, you're professionally jealous of him. I'm like, in another 18 months, there's going to be another clavicular. There's going to be another Aiden Ross, because that's what I was going to ask you. So you got these guys who are really super popular right now. You've got Clav, who's going on 60 Minutes. And he's going on Piers Morgan. He's walking off, interviews and shit like that. He can pretty much get away with whatever the fuck he wants to do right now. But after a while, there's going to be another dude that's going to come in and take out. Yeah, that's like tick, tick, tick.
First thing first, this is why I made my agency. CEO media agencies, because I realized there's a gap between what creators can do, what companies can do. And like you said before, you make very good content, but like if I can't find you or find your content clips anywhere, then does it really matter? No. It's kind of like a plumber, right?
Yeah.
You may be the best plumber in the world, you may have the best like certs and recommendations, but if I don't know who you are, how can I hire you?
Yeah.
So in the same token, this is what I'm saying. Content by itself, it's great, but you need clips. And if you're not making clips right now, bro, you're dead. Because no one can see you. Even a dumb clip of you getting like roasted or something like that is good because it's exposure. Yeah. So my thing is like, once you can master this distribution, you can survive and thrive. If not, you're just spinning your wheels basically.
Yeah, it's all distribution at that point. Yeah. I was going to say, I was talking to some of the guys that I moved over to Substack because I still do write all the time, right? And Substack started to become something more substantial because like more so than even Twitter right now. And I think it's interesting what's going on with Twitter because I pull money from Twitter. Like if I go on, like I've figured out the algorithm for Twitter.
That's good.
And how to like I can post a 2-sentence just edgy tweet and all I got to do is reply to a few of the comments in there, and I will get 17,000, 25,000, 50,000. I've had stuff go viral, like 700,000 on a 1-sentence tweet. And then they also want you to use the articles feature that they're really pushing articles. And so damn near every article I do goes to at least 100,000 K on anything I write. And it can be just a short thing. It doesn't have to be this doctoral thesis. It can be just a short little, something that's a little edgy and people can read it inside of 3 minutes and they're good with it. Right. Because most people don't want to read. They want to, but there still is that audience who's like more of the highbrow kind of stuff that they're moving over to Substack because that's starting to turn into like, okay, that's the alternative to Twitter, right? Or X, whatever. But the thing is after a while, that platform is going to get infiltrated by all the people. Oh, is this where everybody went? They're going to like find their way in. They're going to find other ways to commercialize it. And you can actually live stream on Substack now. And there's other, really? I like Substack quite a bit, but Twitter is interesting that in that they will pay you for your tweets, and people just can't seem to figure out why a creator like me can get paid like $600 or $1,000 in a month, and like Brian from whatever podcast has way more followers than I do and gets way more engagement. He makes $45.
Yeah, X is not a good place to monetize. After Nikita made that,
I know it's voodoo.
Nikita made that statement and they demonetized Dom. I was like, bro, if you're gonna demonetize people that make your platform thrive with news, bro, you could just forget it. No one's gonna. Because think about it. What are you gonna X for news or edgy content? Yeah, but it's kind of like you just kill the whole algo because you want to be petty. I don't know. I don't get it, bro. But
and then what is that? What is that guy? The content guy in charge of Twitter, Nika.
Yeah,
he's made a lot of enemies in crypto, man. He went after communities and stuff as well, which piss people off because basically what they're leaning towards is they're trying to just have you make it's like people. It's a place to post like your links to like, hey, I'm live on YouTube right now. I'm live on Rumble, on Kick. Mm-hmm. These are my ideas for today. I'm going to be on here later on, and that's what people are mostly using it for. Besides news, what they're trying to go for is they're trying to have like unique, just people who only stream or make content only on X, which no one does. Basically, they even tried to get rid of Spaces from it until everyone fucking lost their shit. They were going to get rid of Spaces, and people were like, "What? You're going to get rid of Spaces?" And even Elon had to like kind of roll that back because they were going to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's silly. The other thing is this is like I look at some like Kick right now is I think in the golden year. Like this is the sweet spot for Kick if you want to jump in right now. Like this is the elevators at the bottom right now to get on, and obviously they're going to be a force in the coming years, right? Then there's Rumble, and I got on Rumble because of you guys, because when they demonetized you, I'm like, it ain't gonna be long for me, right? So I got on Rumble and I started simulcasting to Rumble, and then I had Access Vegas, the Access Vegas channel, got demonetized back right around almost the same time you guys did, and I was like, why the hell did they? I didn't get any reason for it, right? And it was demonetized for over a year. And at the time, we were like maybe 7,000 subs. We weren't even playing to that big an audience at that time. And I think I made a grand total of $300 a month off of the thing. We were doing it because we're trying to build the channel. We just wanted to have, it was really just so we could get clips out of it, right?
Yeah.
And like for Mike and I, it's a labor of love. We just like to do it. We enjoy, the shows, but we also like for him, it's all content creation for him. And it's not like if you look at his like Instagram, it's nothing but almost nothing but Access Vegas clips. And then when he's on Ryan Panetta or something else, but it was demonetized. I couldn't understand why it was. And then after Trump came into office, I'm like, I wonder if I could get remonetized. So I appealed it afterwards. Boom! Like within a month, I was like, damn. And so they reassessed it and they gave me the monetization back. And we were monetized for about 8 months, and then they demonetized it again just recently, like a couple months ago. And I was like, damn, what do we do? And it was because of the algorithm. They'd switched over to Gemini, and Gemini flagged our channel as reusing content. And I go, yeah, our content. So what was happening was I would simulcast to the Rational Mail, to this channel, to Mike's channel, to the Access Vegas channel, to the Rumble channel as well, although it wouldn't show up on there, but at least 3 different channels on YouTube were sourcing from the same broadcast, right? So once the show was over, once the broadcast was a recording now, that's when it gets into the realm of this is a rebroadcast of somebody else's, even though it's on the same, it's owned by the same people, but they don't know that. They just see the clips or something like that, and they say this, demonetize it. It took me all 5 minutes to do like a quick video. And I say, hey, look, I think I know what happened. Just what I told you. I said, I think we're just getting swept up in this because we simulcast. This is actually our material. We aren't reusing it because we're the ones doing it, right? I pointed it out and I got it. Like, they say, oh, it'll take like two to 4 weeks for them to respond to you. It was like within a day, it was back.
Yeah, that's the problem with AI. Like it's like it does its job, but there's no human
does it too well.
Yeah. Discretion or So it's good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got that going.
Yeah. It's crazy they don't have like an affiliation button. Like I'm affiliated with this channel, and it's sort of like this channel has permission to use my content, and you just put and then you as Fresh and Fit say accept. Done. And then there's no problem anymore.
Yeah.
That should be way better.
Well, the problem. Okay, so I've been on Rumble for a while. I don't think I've really underutilized Rumble. I mean, we use it for Access Vegas. I like mirror this show to Rumble. So as soon as this is over, it'll be a recording on Rumble, right?
But you want to know how to use Rumble correctly? Pretty simple. What you do is you live stream a Rumble, but you do ad reads. I'll tell you why. If you look at Rumble, it's a publicly traded company, right? So they can't bot, they can't cheat, because if they do, they'll be obviously. So what they do is they say, you know what? As a creator, we know how hard it is to monetize and get your money for your work. You bring viewers to our platform, we'll reward you with ad reads, and these ad reads are built into the Rumble Studio. So you read the ad read, you can get between 2 to 4 to 5 to 6K ad read
from a Rumble, Rumble stream.
Do you do that? Do you do that like weekly, bro? You'll rack up like 10, 20, 30K easily a month. That to me is the best scenario
for Blue Chew.
Just for reading ad read, and it's like
so I'm on Cialis right now.
And look, I can stream for hours on Kick, right?
Yeah,
and make close to the same amount of money, or do one ad read with a lot of viewers and make. So to me, it works smarter, not harder.
The rest of the day. Yeah.
That's I'm like, I get people going to Kick, but if you were really smart about how you did your content, you just do the regular shows, read an ad read, and you're done.
Yeah, but you can pick and choose your ad reads.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bunch of them in your catalog. You just choose one that you want.
So Rumble gives you the ad. They suggest the ad reads.
So I'm like, as a creator, I'm like, okay, you're working extra hard. Cool. I'm over just to work smart. like at this point, like, what are we doing?
I constantly get like emails from people who want to do like a collab, or they want me to do an ad read on YouTube or something. And most of it is just spam shit.
Yeah,
like
spam.
Well, sometimes I'm wondering like, who the fuck do these people think I am? Like I'll get like ad reads from like Mary Kay Cosmetics or something. We really love your content. No, you don't. You don't know who I am.
But there's companies that filter between creators and other companies. Basically, they'll say, you know what? Forget all the spam emails you get for washed up or random nonsense sponsors.
Right.
We'll give you the real sponsors. We just take a cut. I think Sean Kelly, he does that very well.
That's I mean, Sean Kelly has very. I hate to say it because I love Sean, but like Sean has some very low view like videos. I'm like, how the hell does this guy make money?
I'm telling you,
the reads telling you guys all kinds of money.
Everyone watching, the views don't matter anymore. I'm telling. Look.
Subs and views.
If this was back in like 2021 to 2018, 2021, 2017, yeah, it mattered. Now, no, it doesn't matter. All it is distribution. If you can master that one thing, guys, we're gonna be multimillionaires. Just distribution. That's it.
Yeah. I used to be mad because like ever since I got wrapped up in that DHS watch list shit, with the NGO, with the diverting hate
which
NGO,
was a conspiracy theory, but now it's real.
Oh yeah, suddenly, that guy's a roller, he's being conspiratorial again. I remember then because I looked at their annual report, and they were like, you were on there, and Pearl was on there, and Rich Cooper and Aaron Clary was on there, and so like Aaron was on there. I kept asking, I said, have you gained any subs or lost any subs? No, we have been stuck at the same level of subs for 2 fucking years, man. We are locked. I'm locked at 224,000. I can't gain anymore, and I can't lose anymore. I have no idea how that works, but apparently we're on some sort of list where we get locked like that. And same thing with Aaron. Aaron he can't gain or lose either. So I think that's probably something that had to do with that, all that shenanigans that went on.
With Aaron's so smart with his money, man. He's so smart with his money. My God, man.
One of the best.
Yeah, literally.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the smartest there, but hey, I make it work in different ways,
But you also look at his age versus your age and stuff and also too, I mean, it just comes. It's like it came so fast too and stuff like.
Aaron is like, okay, so for me, I'm playing Aaron's game on hard mode, right? I mean, because I'm married, I take care of my mother-in-law. I have a daughter, I take care of her still, in many different ways. I have people that depend on me, even just people that I'm just cool with, but man, Aaron is an asshole, but but
he's a nice asshole.
He's a nice asshole.
Aaron's an assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, he'll be the first one to tell you that. But no, it's like when you're at that certain point right there, then you start to realize what your liabilities are, right? And so when you have a kid, that's I hate to say it, that's a liability. And you've got to be able to if you want to have a kid, you got to be able to afford the kid, right? So it's simple as that. I don't think it's anything wrong with that, but
it's also not just money; it's time.
Well, remember, I'm sure Fresh remembers this, but the whole fucking vasectomy tweet, right? That was because I had watched Brandon Carter talking about how he was going to streamline his life, and he never went to Publix to go grocery shopping, and he never had to worry about his clothes because he had the laundry service, and he doesn't own a car, which of course it's in Brickell. Why would you own a car anyways? And then, anything that would take him away from working on, doing something, he would just streamline it and outsource it. And no kids, no nothing. That's what inspired the tweet. I was like, why would I'm playing this game on fucking hard mode, man. Here he is with a brand new. Oh boy, you would have loved that the last conversation we just had, man. Oh, are you gonna put him in? Yep. You're gonna add him? Okay, cool. Now you can watch this show on his channel too. That's the best thing. We have such a good collaboration.
Yeah.
Now you were just saying a second ago about how you're going to these Aiden Ross's trade show. What was the name of the event you just went to?
Brand Risk.
Okay. What is it called?
Brand Risk.
Brand Risk is what it's called. Okay.
Funny name, right?
Yeah. Okay. But you can see how this whole business is evolving right now.
Yeah.
So think about this.
Think about this. There you go.
Think about these.
Catchphrase.
By the way, I was fresh last Friday. I was in your seat this time, which is funny because the last time I was in Miami, I was in Myron's seat and you were across. But no, but now we have these relationships between me and you and Myron and Mike and everybody who we're still very, very cool with. So for instance, we're going to simulcast to Mike's stream, or when we do Access Vegas, we'll simulcast there, or you guys come out to do a show with us, or we come out and do a show with you. We have this sort of just understanding that, hey, if you want to, simulcast, that's fine. I'm happy to broadcast to your audience as well as mine at the same time. How is that going to affect what we do in the future as this thing grows into something else, right? So for instance, when you're talking about Kick and making money off of Kick or doing ad reads and stuff like that, as a result of the connections and the relationships that we've built over the last 5 or 6 years, it was 6 years, I guess, almost 6 years now. Think about what our opportunities are going to be as a result of having built up those relationships over
I think there's going to be groups in separated groups. For example, if you look at most industry people now, there's AMP, there's Aiden's group, there's the Red Pill, there's I want to say conservative spaces. There's also there's groups of people that stream content. Face Clan. Yeah. So it's already separated, but it's gonna be even more so now with the whole platforms, how they operate. Right. So yeah, you're right. I think there's gonna be groups.
So there's groups within the platforms, and there's platform versus platform attack and stuff like that, right? Do you ever see it it gets to a point where a consolidation, or it's going to be we're all Kick, even though we're all separate groups, we have to attack or something like that, or is it just going to stay as new content creators, they just keep making their own thing?
It's going to depend on how money is distributed, because look at it from the standpoint of how it is now. If I have a group of people, right, they're making me money with my group, why would I bring you in? Are you in?
Right.
You might disrupt my flow or ruin it because you're Brand Risk to me. So I think it's going to depend on what your values are and how you distribute your money. Because if I know for sure this person's okay with my brand deals and okay with my platform, yeah, come on, let's go collab.
Yeah.
They're not, you're X'd out immediately.
This reminds me a lot of like it's sort of like we're record labels in a way. Like you got
Yes.
you got Motown,
Yes.
you're
Yes.
Motown, and then it's
Good-
like, okay,
good
you blew up
analogy.
to a certain size. Let me add you. Let me get you.
So
if it makes
basically,
sense.
what Miguel just said is 100% correct.
Mhm.
Streamers are the new rappers,
Yeah.
and labels are the new platforms.
Mhm.
So if you think about it from that standpoint, we're actually the talent they use to get sponsors, get deals.
Right.
Mhm.
And if you're smart, look at all the big artists.
Mhm.
They are cool with the label owners or labels because they know if the label likes you, you're going to be put in top spot.
Yeah.
If they don't like you, you're gone and forgotten, and they're moving on.
Well, I was going to say is that, and just like the music industry, you either appear or you disappear. You got to
Right.
keep doing new shit. That's what I was thinking. Like, I remember when I was getting my surgery done, and I was in the hospital, and I had my laptop there, and I was watching the video of Clavicular running over that dude in the cyber truck, right? And this is on like Christmas Eve. It was on December 24th, and I'm like, oh, this is the end of Clav. I got you. It was such a brief career, right? No, like nothing happened. I was like, what the fuck? And then remember when he was in Scottsdale and he got arrested for having a fake ID at some Scottsdale club, right? Does he not have to go to the arraignment or something like that? Does he just pay a fine or something? Like how come there's no like legal?
Remember where he's streaming?
It's just, yeah.
If it was YouTube, done.
Right.
He's on kick.
Yeah.
They have connections that other people would never use because once you're in that box, you're in that box, and then they just ban you. But with Kick, you can pretty much do anything, bro.
Protection.
Pretty much.
So here's the thing. Okay, so I got think about this.
Think about this.
Think about that.
So I've been watching say like I don't even want to call them, well, maybe they're mainstream A-listers like Chris Williamson, for example.
Oh, okay.
He had this show and he was interviewing Will Costello. He had Freya in India. She was one of these. She just wrote a book or something like that. And this other chick who's an evolutionary psychologist. And then there's Chris Williamson on there. And they're having this back and forth. He's got this new format, not unlike this, where they're sitting at a table and they're having this back and forth. And they are talking about like the looks maxing niche,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
this new craze called looks maxing. And how does this bode for the future of Gen Z? And are these guys turning into Derek Zoolander? And and just like going like crazy. I'm like, do you not know he's a product? Do you not know that it's the reason why his name is in your mouth is because Kick wants it to be there?
Yeah.
And it blows me away because I'm wondering, like, guys like Steve Bartlett, guy like Tom Bellew, Chris Williamson, I'm trying to think of Jay Shetty, some of these other guys, like, do they not know that what Fresh knows? Or do they, and they're just trying to play coy about it? I don't know.
I think people know, but they don't know how to do it.
Yeah, they don't.
Because, for example,
they think it's legit.
For example,
It is legit. What part?
I think it's legit.
I'm curious about what
I'm saying because I'm saying that like clavicular and the looks maxing thing has been around forever. Okay, so we already know that. But from what we've been just discussing a little while ago, we were getting into the ins and outs of Kick and Rumble and everything else, and how like Clav is basically a product. I mean, he's a product of like at least 2 billion paid ads according to April or May. But the reason why he's a household name is the reason why like Chris Williamson knows his name is as a result of him being boosted by Kick, and not necessarily because they would have anything to do with that guy under any other circumstances.
Here's the thing. I also think he speaks to a very, very specific group of guys at a massive level, and he was going to be popular anyway. And I also think the money that whatever they're going into clipping him, it's probably coming from the inbound money that he's making off all the people watching him on Kick. Because I'm on his stream. I've been on his stream twice. And just the volume of people that are watching that are real people is absolutely outrageous. So I don't know. I think he's struck a chord that we didn't think that was going to get struck. You're right. Looks maxings have been around forever, right? We used to call them metrosexuals, right? 30 years ago. And now it's but I felt the same way you did, Rollo, until I went and hung out with Fresh and Clavicular. I don't think any of it's fake. I think these people are obsessed with him. Like, I really do.
Oh yeah, are they obsessed with him? Yes, yeah. That goes without saying. But I'm just saying that the only reason, I was not the only reason, but like I think one of the reasons why somebody like Chris Williamson or Will Costello or India or whatever her name is, Freya India, the only reason they know his name is because
he's popular.
Because they picked up because they picked up on the fact that
they're like a modern day like Good Morning America ABC. He's like
they're getting there. He was just saying, he was just saying about
so there's a breach. There's a ceiling they have to breach.
Mm-hmm.
Myron breached the ceiling, but Chris can't have Myron on because Chris and Myron have had Myron's talked about this. Chris Williamson and Myron Gaines have had conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew crossed that ceiling, but Chris can't have him on. Chris Williamson interviewed Andrew Tate for 4 hours and never posted the video. Okay, just so you guys know, not soft white underbelly. Ice coffee hour here in Las Vegas. They had Owen Cook on for 4 hours and never posted the video. And not soft white underbelly, but Jay Shetty, and there's one other one where James Sexton was talking about you and me, and then they cut our names out of it. Okay, the part with Clavicular is he's too popular with too many people, and they're not going to have him on the show, but they will react to him because at some point it was just like, did you see the New York Post wrote an article about me and Orion Terabane yesterday or 2 days ago? Yeah. So the New York Post, why are they writing that article? You read the article with me. Was there anything in there that was even damning about me or
no?
Orion?
Actually, it made you look good.
Exactly.
Honestly.
But what was it? It was, and then they said $10,000 for my course. I don't have a course for $10,000. It's $27. Look up $27 Men of Action right now. Just look it up. So, no, if you stayed with me long enough, could you spend $10,000 for unlimited coaching? You could. I'm not going to tell you can't. I'm saying the course being $10,000.
Do you still do the live-in?
Yeah, I don't do the live-in anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have my girlfriend was not happy about the live-in. I used to have a client live with me. Anyway, but the point is, where did that $10,000 come from? It came from the made-up story that James Bloodworth made about me in the New York, in the London Times.
So she's picking up third hand.
No, what I'm saying is, what amount of work did she do to write that article?
Nothing.
None. She got my photos from Shutterstock, and then she rewrote what someone else wrote about me and produced nothing and asked me no questions.
It was fluff. It was a throwaway piece.
This was if this took Kira Breslin more than an hour to write, I need to introduce her to some better AI models because there was not a lot of work in there. It was 2 paragraphs on each one of us. And to be fair, Owen Cook and Casey Zander are both bigger than me, and I got front billing over them. And so where does that come from, right? It's just like it's swagger jacking. It's clout jacking. Why did Inside the Manosphere have Sneeko in it? Why? Can someone explain to me why? I'm not trying to diss Sneeko. What does Sneeko today have to do with the Manosphere? What?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, why is he in it?
Because he's got market share.
Yeah, if we want to talk about reforming the American public through Islamic Sharia law, I'll go to Sneeko. Let's go talk to Sneeko. If we want to go talk about that, it's like the world is decaying. I'll go talk to Sneeko, right? If I want to talk about, hey, here's the way to go pick up chicks in Manosphere stuff, I'm not good. Why is Sneeko in this video? Yeah. It's swagger jacking. It's clout jacking. Sure. And the problem is, and I've said this, I've talked to both of you about this before, it's going to look stupid in 5 or 10 years when they don't have us on.
Right.
They're just going to look like, it's just like, we want to learn how to be quarterback in the NFL. And Tom Brady's like, can I come on your show? I'll just come on for free. I'll pay my way to come. Can I come on your show? No, Tom, we don't really believe in the way you play quarterback. We're not going to do that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, dude, I've said this before. I'll continue to say this. If there's any other coach in this space who you think is better than me, if it's Matthew Hussey or if it's fucking Christy Q. Perry, let's compare the number of testimonials they have, the number of testimonials from CEO Network, the number of testimonials from Reignite. Let's look at the number of testimonials we have, video testimonials. Remember, the FTC requires that we have to disclose if we compensated them for those testimonials. We did not, okay? The number of testimonials I have compared to Sadia Khan, compared to anybody else in this space. Well, how do we have more testimonials? Look, what's my Trustpilot score? It's 4.999. How are you explaining this away? You can't explain it away. So the best way to deal with what we're doing is to not talk to us. The best way to deal with what we're doing is no matter how big we get or how many people follow us, it's to stop talking to us. And then it got so bad. Andrew Tate is one of the results of this. Richard Reeve says, because academia was not willing to have these conversations, that's why Andrew Tate grew so big. You want to know what else grew out of this? Rumble. Rumble exists explicitly because these conversations were not meant to be had. They weren't. Like Nick F is a great example of that, right? These conversations, no one was allowed to have the conversations. Kick is another example. Twitch was way too, they censored their content way too much. If you had content that was outside the realm of just, you know, being a spurg and being on a video game, they didn't want it. So then they opened up Kick, right? And now you see guys doing IRL streams on Kick. And so why is that this explosion is happening? It's happening because other people don't want to have the conversation.
Yeah.
But you know who doesn't mind having the conversation? You, me, or Myron. Is there anyone you, me, or Myron would not go debate?
So there was this, and I think I was just telling him, but Fresh doesn't know this. We just did the interview with ABC Australia with Mark Fennell, and actually I kind of like the guy. I thought it was
I think he was stunned.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I think he didn't know what to do with us.
There were girls in there being like, "We love you so much, Michael. That's why we come on the show all the time." And he didn't know what to do. He was like,
"It's like, fuck.
What the fuck do I do with this? Like, I can't make a hit piece when the girl to his friend is like, the girl to his right is saying, "You're one of my best friends, and I love you, Michael." Like, how do I make him out to be a messiah? Not that Mark was trying to.
Yeah.
It's just when Mark takes that back to his producer's going to be like, "Yo, what is this that you brought me?"
I don't know what they're going to do.
What are they going to do?
So remember, okay, so Mike and I are at Roll & Smoke Barbecue, right? And we were there for close to 3 hours doing the interview.
I cannot wait for this video to come out.
I can't wait for that one to come out either, because at the end of that, and I don't know that this wasn't a plant. I don't think it was. I want to believe the best here. But as we were just wrapping up, there's some like, I didn't even get a good look at her face.
I saw.
Blue haired, like, you know, lesbianish kind of chick was there, and she was just like yelling at us, and she's like, "You guys are a bunch of fucking incels," and then her boyfriend's there, and I think he was. Did you ever find out if he was like?
No, I need to look it up. So we're looking. I'm looking over the barbecue sauce, and I see this guy with a phone, and he's filming us, which makes sense. There's a bunch of huge $30,000 cameras filming us.
Yeah, the whole
we're all mic'd up. There's like a boom. I would probably want to know what was going on too. So they hear me and Rollo talk about, you know, in our space, men are suffering, et cetera, et cetera. That's all what they do. And then all of a sudden, while they're walking out the door, "You guys are a bunch of cucks. You guys are incel. You're incel, stupid incel podcast. Well, you guys so broke you can't even afford a studio." Yes. Yes, we can't afford a studio. That's why we were in. What you really should be asking yourself is, why did Roll & Smoke give us permission to shoot in their place? That's what you really should be asking yourself. Did we have a studio? Yes, we have a studio. But it was like, and they were just,
and so
go home and get cucked by your girlfriend, loser.
So what was our first response? Right? It was, "Hey, why don't you come over and
sit
sit with
down.
us? Come sit down and talk to us." Like, we wanted them to actually. I would love for them to come and sit across from us, but of course they were like running out of the restaurant at that same time. But that right there, that you know damn well that's going to make it into the final
You know,
cut.
I could see it not making it, and I'll tell you why.
Because it's not,
because it makes us look. It makes it look like what we're saying is the truth.
Yep.
Right. That one clip of Ross Kemp. You could see he was a little uncomfortable answering the question. If you guys saw, Ross Kemp was asking William Costello, "How many incel murderers are there worldwide?" And he goes, 7 to 15. And he goes, "In the UK?" He goes, "No, worldwide." What? He goes, "How many of them? How many killings have there been? 59 killings worldwide all time by incels." 59? He goes, "I think everything I've heard about incels is wrong." When we played that for Mark, I would expected Mark to be like, "Wow, it looks like we're being fed misinformation," but he can't, because he's part of ABC Australia. He can't say that. So it was really interesting, because like what they expected from us, and what they expect from you and all of us, is knuckle dragging, troglodyte, woman hating, homophobic. Right. That's all they expect. MAGA. I'd say the four of us are probably best 6 out of 10 Trump supporters, honestly. Like, I'm not, I like him, but I like him way more than I like Kamala Harris.
Right.
But it's not like that. I'm not dying.
I don't have a red hat, put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. I don't have a red hat. I've never worn a MAGA hat. You know what I'm saying? Sneeko has. Guess that's why he was on Inside the Manosphere. And so it's just one of these situations where I'm watching this, and I don't know what Mark's going to do. I don't understand how they're going to try to pitch it. Now, what they could do is what CBS did, which is give up. And they were like, "Yeah, this guy actually sounds like he's pretty solid." Because they sat there and they interviewed all my clients, and my clients were like, "This changed my life. This was the greatest thing I've ever done." And they're like, we're trying to paint you guys in a circle. Hey, something I do want to go over with you, because this kind of fits into this whole situation. Rob Henderson's new carousel he just released, going over the myth of the Chads and the guys who don't get laid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll go. We'll do it on a live stream. We'll do it on a live stream. But it's really good, and I don't want to be insulted because I like Rob Henderson's work.
Because I actually pay to follow him on Substack. So
can I ask you guys a question? Not that the four of us would ever do this because we're all men of God, but we know guys who've slept with lots of women, right? Right?
I know one.
You know guys who slept with.
Protect the innocent. Protect the innocent.
Okay. So
in the chat, they're saying that you're a disgrace to Christianity because you say that you're like actually a virgin. I'm like, who the fuck is like?
I've never said that.
Oh, here we go. Just so I want to get.
He says he's a virgin.
I want to get on his level.
Secondly, I've never stated I'm following Christianity to a T. I said before I was studying to be a pastor. I stopped, and I'm not practicing Christian. I'm not because I know what I'm doing. So to say that is disingenuous, one, and two, you obviously don't watch the show because I never said that ever.
I love it.
So
okay. I need to get on. I'm getting on his level right now.
I had a long night.
I'm gonna. Yo, I know. I saw. We watched. Hey, you know what's really funny is I came home after being out with Myron that one time when we were on Fresh and Fit till a Million. You were out with Michael Beasley, and I come home and there's a girl in my bed and she's up. She's pissed at me. She's like, "You were out all night," and I was like, "What an interesting reality you must live in." Where you can literally watch what the fuck I was doing for the last 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like you can't question whether or not I was with some other girl. Yeah. You could literally see what I'm doing every. I've had this happen so many times. Like, why didn't you call me back? And I was on Access Vegas, and I was like, you can literally watch what I was doing, like moment to moment in 4K, and you're still jealous.
Yeah. Goes to show that never goes away.
It never goes away.
Yeah. And you guys even do a pre-show before that.
Yes.
When it's like all relaxed, and you hear everyone in the background.
Yes. Yeah, babe. I took her in the bathroom real quick. I could cheat on you.
Really
anyway, so here's the thing.
Hold on, real quick. This guy in the chat got man H5B. Brother, if you don't understand sarcasm at its lowest level, you are retarded. When I'm on the show and they ask me, what's your body count? I'm a virgin. I am trolling my guy. Are you dumb? Yeah. Or just stupid? I don't know what you are, but.
Are they talking about like trolling the chicks, basically?
Yeah. Fresh, what's your body count? Oh, I'm a virgin. Obviously, I'm trolling.
Yeah.
It's common sense. Guess not.
God, I really wish you could have seen last week's Access Vegas when we had like that Moon Unit chick that was on there the whole time. We were just usually I lean into stuff like that, and I'm just like, yeah.
The problem is that's a business model, bro.
There's this one point where like I'm about to like go off, and Mike goes like this.
Yeah. I was like,
that's what he knows. I'm ready to fucking fight.
We're about to do because she's saying nonsense about astrology, but like, who are we really fighting? It's not like our audience is going to listen there, be like, oh, okay, I guess it was Sagittarius why I didn't get the bitch. Like nobody believes that, bro. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Anyway, my question for the four of you, because obviously,
Gary does.
Huh? Gary does. Yeah.
Gary does.
And you know, it's funny hanging around Gary. I actually see the relevance of having that as a part of your game.
Oh, I need to talk to him.
I've never said that.
That reminds me. I need to talk to him because I got to get a bet with him to see that Golden Knights are going to win the Stanley Cup.
He is an incredible fucking sports bettor.
You can talk shit about Gary all day, but you can't deny his shit has some value, whether it's in dating or in business or in betting.
I've always said, shout the Q out. 100%. If you guys want to gaslight women and tell them, hey, what is your astrological sign? Hey, they can't come back later and be like, you lied. I don't know. I'm not telling you it doesn't work.
Read between the lines. I'm telling you, bro. It has power, man.
I'm not telling you it doesn't work.
Right, what are you going to say?
My question for you, because this was from the Rob Henderson thing. So the idea is that we know to be the fact, and also the data shows this, is that women are choosing a small group of men. So there's one 2017 survey that shows that 70% of women's sexual interactions are with the top 20% of men. Another one that just came out 2 weeks ago that says the top 10% most promiscuous men are having, women are having 58% of their sexual encounters with the top 10% most promiscuous men. Way you do this, you go look at GSS data on the number of sexual partners you have. For men, I believe top 10% is like 25, top 5% is 50, top 1% is 150 sexual partners. You take all the sexual partners of the top 10, and then you say, okay, for the top 10, how many women would we have to go through to get to this same number of women? And it's 58% of women. Okay, so that indicates to me that really, we'll just call them for the sake of this discussion, promiscuous men are having sex with promiscuous women, extremely promiscuous women, somewhat promiscuous women, moderately promiscuous women, somewhat below average promiscuous women, and not promiscuous women. It seems to me like guys who are crushing it with women are having sex with promiscuous women and non-promiscuous women.
The whole spectrum.
Correct.
Yeah.
Rob Henderson and Alex from Dateside, their argument is no. These men are only having sex with promiscuous women.
With whores.
You're not missing out, guys. You're not missing out. The third
They're
of
just
you,
getting the
They're getting rid of the 304s for you and leaving the
third of you, the third of you who are not having sex. Deborah So, Sextinction. Read the book. The third of you are not having sex. Don't worry about the fact you're not having sex. These other guys who are having all this sex, they're only having sex with whores. Just the most promiscuous women. Now,
Nope, they're all having sex with Amy Dangerfield.
correct. I'm gonna
buy my friend.
So
buy my peptides.
for me.
Apparently,
With the body shot.
allegedly.
Amy
Allegedly.
texted me yesterday. I love you, Amy. Stop. Don't listen to me. That's uncalled for. All right, listen.
I have a question though. Just because the Rolo brought it up, I didn't want to bring it up. Rolo brought it up. I know that's your friend.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at her. I think she's
No, not at all.
I think she's a great speaker.
Yes, I agree.
In her way. But Rolo, just answer this question honestly. If you had one day to be a woman, right? And you
Lord.
were going to marry somebody, or you married them
In
already,
one day?
right?
Right.
Yeah. And
Love it first
you were
sight.
going on a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and you had fucked one of the hosts on that podcast. Would you tell your soon-to-be husband/husband that you did that before you brought him there, or not tell him at all?
Rolo, take your ring off first.
I'm just curious because, like, bro, I cannot believe. I was like, there's no way she did this, nigga.
So she told him after? I don't
Now,
know.
Now, refresh to answer that question. If I found I was a woman tomorrow, the first thing I would do is start an OnlyFans page. That's number one. Now, number two is she felt comfortable enough with that dude to tell him that in the first place. Like that, she already knows that he's the kind of dude that she's oblivious to what she's saying, and that he's going to be okay with that.
So you're saying she was like comfortable enough to be like, he ain't going nowhere. Basically.
Well, have you seen the interview with was it Lily Phillips? She's got a new boyfriend, and like,
Is that real though?
No, probably not. But like,
it might just
of course,
marketing.
everyone wants to throw shit at him and call him a cuck, which of course he is. But
yeah,
but
I don't think there's any way for us to know, because either it's not real and he's a plant, or it is real and he like from our standpoint he's a cuck, but from his standpoint it's normal.
Right.
And then from everyone else's standpoint, you're so brave, good for standing up for your feminist wife, because that's what a feminist is now.
But
100 bodies
really,
at the
what
same
that
time.
is, what Amy Dangerfield is, what all that shit is it's engagement media on like various levels, various scales, right? So what happens is we come on our show. Hey, did you hear about Lily Phillips and her cuck husband? Like that's what they want to happen.
It's all marketing.
That's
all
what
marketing.
it's exponential. They want you to say.
Okay, to play devil's advocate, we do talk about this shit.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
like-
And they know
like-
they
like-
are.
like-
But hold on. What he's saying is, look at it from a more
Cynical.
prime level.
Yes.
Mhm.
What he's saying is, yes, we talk about it, but we're giving them marketing for the simps in the chat. Think about it.
Yeah, of
Our
course.
audience is a perfect demographic for her, so OnlyFans, or for her, I guess you want to say,
Manager or something?
management, right?
Yeah.
Because we're giving her free marketing to our audience, even though it's to roast them.
Right.
Some guys in chat will be like, you know what?
Well,
damn, I do want to see what
of
happened
course,
there.
do we all
Is he
remember?
fucking on camera?
You
No
remember-
way.
You remember when Adam 22 decided to whore out his wife, Lena the Plug? Too. Of course, she's already a porn star to begin with. So like, what's the?
Well,
what's
she had
the
never
point?
filmed with a dude before that.
Yeah. So she.
They did it in stages, though. They did it in
but
stages.
see, the thing
Yeah.
is like, then he did that, and I remember because I was in the studio that one time, and he was like, I don't know if I feel comfortable about this. And he's like talking to Destiny about how he doesn't feel comfortable about.
But
farming
that
her
I
out.
agree with you. That was a setup.
And so
I think Adam 22 has no trouble.
It's not the actual movie itself. That's the event. It's everything that leads up to that event and everything that kind of follows after that event. The same thing with was the boxing match between Adam 22 and
Jason Love.
And Jason Love again.
That was
leads up to the
brand
event,
risk.
and then after the event, they talk shit about each other. Right? The event is like secondary to all of the engagement that happens because we're talking about it. The same. I talked about it. Hell, I remember even Matt Walsh was talking about Adam 22 whoring out Lena the Plug and how horrible it was, and he's not even in the same sphere, but it's good. It's content fodder for him, and that's exactly what
I mean,
they
I think-
want. It's,
but again,
it's
I
what
think-
I call it. It's engagement media.
I think the four of us are just as guilty as they are.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
No, what I mean by that is like we keep
I didn't
taking
say
it
it was
away.
any better.
No, what I'm saying is like we didn't come on today going over, hey, here's 5 peer-reviewed studies we're going to go over today. No, we're talking about Lena the Plug and Adam 22 and clavicular. That's what we're talking about. Now, the thing is, I think Adam personally has no trouble whatsoever being naked with other men having sex with women. I don't know. I don't want to extrapolate any further than that. I don't think at any point he had any trouble with
I'm with
this.
you on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for what I'm saying is like for me, I might delete myself if I was in that situation. For him, he feels very comfortable.
See, that's not even the point. The point is this: is that that's one example. Of Lily Phillips and her husband. That's one example of Amy banging the thing. That's one example of, and it's by various like niches and various scopes, right? Like compared to Adam 22, Amy is not at that level, let's just say, but the same engagement dynamics work for her that work for, I think Adam 22 is brilliant in that because he figured out how to game
rich.
it.
Adam 22 has at least 10 million more dollars
degenerate
because he
as
did
fuck,
that.
but respect the game though.
But he got himself into bad financial strife because when we went to go visit him in LA, right? One of the first things I saw was like, dude, how is he affording this building? He had this massive building security. I couldn't, like, the amount of employees he had there. Like, he just had people on the couch just hanging out.
Because he's going full hood. Like, he's like hood plus rap plus porn. Like, that's his shtick.
Right.
And the problem with that is like, you see the one time when the guy comes in with a gun and points a gun at his head. Like, that's what you're asking for when you do this. And so it's like mainstream porn and rap. It's like, and this is the confluence between the two.
It's like GTA 6.
And here's the other thing, like with Adam, is that so if you watch, I like Grand Wizard. Academics.
I had a watch party for that.
Academics. His news page is hilarious, and it's almost like a conservative mirror to No Jumper's liberal.
Say that name one more time.
Academics.
No, the name.
Grand Wizard Chat Naysayer.
Mark that.
Hey, yes. Shout out to him. But his news, the stuff that he posts on there, I will go there and now I'll verify everything that's on there. But he has a little bit of a conservative spin to it, whereas like No Jumper has kind of, and TMZ, especially TMZ, has like a liberal spin to it, and it might be the same article about Drake dropping a new album or whatever. And I think that part's interesting. But going back to the original question, to your point. The original question, all right? So we have our sunglasses of misogyny on real quick, okay? Everybody have your misogyny sunglasses on? Right. Ready? Here we go. Do you believe that these men with these super high body counts are only having sex with super high body count women like we're being told through these assortative men? I've heard this from Alex from Date Psych, Rob Henderson, and Jasmine Jafar, that the guys who are sleeping with all these women are only sleeping with hyper promiscuous women. What do you guys think?
Definitely not, because I regret sometimes myself having a good girl that I know I messed up, and we all do. We all been there. So that would be a lie, just straight up, just from personal experience and also anecdotal experience. My friends as well. Yeah, I met this girl. She's amazing, but she's too nice for me. Too good. Yeah, it happens all the time.
God wants you to have the baby.
There you go.
Definitely not.
There you go.
The guys that we've had on the show that like crush it with women. The thing is, I don't know how, because this is very non-scientific. I know guys in the city who are either male strippers, gigolos, VIP hosts. I'm talking 500, 600, 700 body count minimum. And I'll ask them, like, every girl you've been with is just like a porn star or an escort or whatever. And they're like, no, like more than half the women I'm with are not like that at all. It's an accountant from Paducah, Kentucky. Right. Like that's who I'm with. And then when you do the math, it's like there aren't enough female roster spots. So women report how many partners they have.
Right.
There's not enough roster spots to fit the men in the top 10%. There's like, it can't be, what I'm saying is the top 20% of women don't have enough sex with enough men to equal the top 20% of men. In fact, I think the number is like 4 or 5 to 1. What I mean by that is the top 1% of men have 150 sexual partners. The top 1% of women have 35. Do you see how that doesn't match up? Like what I'm saying is the top 10% of women, there's not enough. If I took 1 million men and 1 million women, I took the top 100,000 men and the top 100,000 women, and I multiplied the coefficient of how many sexual partners the average guy in the top 10% had versus the top 10% of women. For men, it's almost 5 times as many sexual partners. And so when we look at the Hans Larson data on the GSS, you guys want to look up that data, the 58% of women's sexual partners are with the top 10% most promiscuous men. And then when I read the Rob Henderson thing, it's like, well, yeah, but they're not in relationships with those women.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah,
that is the point.
Litmus test.
That is the point. That's number one. And then number two, it's like, well, don't worry, guys, because it's a myth. They're only having sex with hyper promiscuous women. I'm sorry, the math does not agree. There's not enough. Yeah. Like one of my favorite things to show. So I like discussing dimorphic differences in evolutionary psychology. The three biggest dimorphic differences: one is upper body strength. Men are more than twice as strong as women in their upper body, just on average. Number two is the desire for sexual variety. So men, when asked how many sexual partners they want to have when they die, what's the total number? The number comes out somewhere in the 20s. For women, it's like 7 or 6 or 5, somewhere in that. When you look at the top 2% most promiscuous women, that equals the median man. Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Like the average guy, his desire for sexual variety equals the top 2% of women. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Even women who do adult work or escort, even their desire for sexual partners is less than the actual number of sexual partners they have. Yeah. Do you understand?
And you're talking about lays, not relationships.
Yeah, I'm talking about individual, because that's a number we can look at. What we can't look at is good sex in a relationship versus bad sex at a frat party. I don't have data on that. If somebody has census data on that, I want to see it. What I can look at is sexlessness for a year. That's very clear. The amount of men that go sexless for a year, that number keeps increasing.
Yep.
The amount of sexual partners for the bottom 33% of men, I know that keeps going down. And the amount of sexual partners for the top 10% of men, I know that keeps going up. I know that the amount of sexual partners for the top 5% of men for over the last 15 years, I believe, went from 38 partners to 50.
So what you're saying is the number of like basically the number of like fucked pussy keeps staying the same and actually gradually increasing, but it's only like
tilted. It's tilting like this.
Yes.
So if I were to take the body count for women in general, I'm going to get a line.
Right.
As they get older, I'm going to get a line. So that as they get older, the number of bodies they get will increase.
Correct. Yeah.
Over time. For men, I'm going to get like, or for the women who have the least amount of sex, they're going to be over here.
Right.
But like, it's 20% of women who haven't had sex in the last year. It's 33% of men who haven't had sex in the last year. So we're going to get this number of people with this number of bodies, this number of bodies, this number of bodies, and we're going to end up here at 35% for the top 35 bodies for the top 1%. Okay. So we're going to start at 0. We're going to go to 35. For men, it's going to be 0 for like the first 23, 25%. Then the median is going to be 5 or 7, depending on who you ask. Then when we get to, so ready. So we start, I wish I could graph this out. I'm going to get ChatGPT to graph this out.
Yeah.
So it's like 0 for the first 25%. Then when we get to the median, we're going to get to 5 or 7 bodies. Then when we get to the top 10%, we're at 35 bodies. Then when we get to the top 5%, we're at 50. And then when we get to top 1%, we're at 150. Right. I don't even think you can get hired as a host in Las Vegas if you have fewer than 150 bodies. I don't even think they will hire. I don't even think you can work for Thunder from Down Under with under 150 bodies. Honestly, like that.
So what was Rob saying? What was like?
So
what was his premise?
He was saying it was. So 2 things he said in the first slide. I agree with the second assertion. I don't agree with the first. The first assertion was the idea of Chads and alphas is a myth. Disagree. He did not provide data to show me that that's a myth. Right. But then he said, and this data can create resentment. I do agree. Yeah. That it does definitely, hypergamy does create resentment. Not from me, not from him, not from you guys, because we're on this side of the hypergamy scale. Right. If you've been with 40 women in your life, we know how
to leverage.
Yeah, if you've even been with 40 women in your life, you're in the top 7-8% of men worldwide. If you're top 40%,
I beat it by 1.
Yes, correct. Right, correct. So I'm extrapolating, right? Because I know top 10%, you have to be like 25 women that you've been with your whole life, something like that. So for us, like you know, not us, obviously, not us. But I know guys that have been with more than 100 women.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I know it's insane. But
I've heard a guy has
shout out Sterling
1,600 somewhere.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they don't count if they are below a 4 or if you have to pay them.
You know, it's funny. Just to add to what Roll is saying, when you put your body count as a measure of how good you are as a man, it's crazy because like the older I get, I'm kind of like, I'm not ashamed to say my body count. It's more like, it's not important anymore.
Right.
It's not a measure of like my manhood. It's just a matter of like, okay, I did this. Great. Now let's move on. And the funny part is, it just was experience. But to what level of experience? Because if I spend all day fucking bitches,
you're not doing nothing.
Yeah. I've not really done anything as a man of actual merit. I've just fucked a bunch of bitches. Right. So okay, do I need a trophy now? Like what's the?
So are you leading towards quality now?
No. What I think the part that we're missing is the guys who don't have the same body count had they had the same opportunity, would have the same body count.
Would do
That's
it.
my point.
Well,
so
okay.
that's the part we keep missing. It's
I
like
agree- I
the
agree
girl.
with-
The girl is married to a guy who has a body count of 5, and she thinks her husband is better than me if my body count is greater than 5, not recognizing that if her husband had my opportunities, he'd have my body count. Does that make sense?
Right.
We went over the desire for number of sexual partners.
Well, it's
so again,
it's the
a
same
man with no
thing.
muscles is not a peaceful man.
Right.
You can't conduct violence. Because your husband can't get laid doesn't make him better than me or more moral. It means women don't choose him, and had they chose him, he'd have the same body count hypothetically that I have.
Was it Ron White was talking about the difference between one guy who like cheats on his wife and Tiger Woods, who like cheated on her like so many times. But you look at the amount of women that were like, would have fucked Tiger Woods, then you could say no, Tiger Woods is actually in a better spot for that position.
He's like, I know exactly what you're talking about, because he's like, he loves that woman. He's only cheated 9 times with 11,000 people coming after him and stuff.
If you do the ratio, if you do the math, his love for his wife is crazy.
More,
You want to know what? You want to know what every single one of those women talking shit about Klay Thompson after the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing have in common? Every one of them would fuck Klay Thompson in 1 second if he messaged him. If he messaged him, these women would throw themselves at Klay Thompson.
Sure.
I got the same guy that Megan Thee Stallion got.
I understand what you're saying, Fresh, because I got to a point where I'm just like, what is it? Like once I got past 50, right? All this pretentious bullshit about like, body count this, or I want a girl who doesn't have a low body. I'm like, I want a chick who's DTF. I want a girl who's hot and wants to fuck. That's basically it. I'm good with that. I don't care. What is your body count? People always think that because me and Myron did that one show, or a couple shows actually, where we talked about like body count and how it affects, marriage, contentment, and bonding and all this other stuff. And I think we actually came up with 6, which is what all the eggheads finally came up with later on. We just got to it 2 years earlier. But I think because we did that show, everybody thinks that like he and I are like, well, body count is the worst thing for women, or slut shaming women because we're talking about body count and everything. I'm just giving you the stats, man. If you want to ask me personally what I think about it, I told Coral Osborne this too. I said, I don't fucking care.
Coral Osborne's awesome.
I could give 2 fucking shits about.
She's great.
But the thing is like, I understand what you're saying, because like whenever people want to say that these red pill guys or whatever, the manosphere guys, they measure their egos by how many notch counts they have, or like, it's a dick measuring contest. I'm like, no, it's not, and I'll tell you why, because I can go, we're in Nevada right now. Okay. Is prostitution legal here? Mike Sartain? No, not in Las Vegas, but it is legal in places in Nevada. But it doesn't matter, because the thing is like, if I say I have 100 body count, but 90 of them were hookers I bought or escorts that I fucked, does that mean, what if I have 100 body count
or
trannies?
Weren't? Let's not shame the trannies.
Okay,
let's not shame them. Trannies have equal
Brazilian trannies.
Brazilian trannies are equal rights to a body.
Yes, exactly.
Can we all agree to that?
I see what you did there.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like I don't think it's a good metric, because a guy who gets laid 100 times with prostitutes and a guy who gets laid and he's never had a prostitute in his life, those are qualitatively much different situations. Right. Yeah. So there is that. But the other part of it is like when everybody asks me, or they think that if I go into do a whole episode dedicated to body count, they think that because I do that I must be on their side. That I must think the same thing. Oh, Rollo's really about this. But you know why they have a problem with that? Because they don't fuck. They're guys that don't fuck. And the guys who don't fuck think that body count should matter more than it does, because it helps them cope with the fact that there are guys who don't fuck. And I've written several essays about this, and people are going to just run me up the flagpole for saying this. I don't give a flying fuck, because it's been done a million times. But the thing is like,
that's easy for you to say, Rollo. You're not dying of thirst right now.
Well, it's intrasexual competition is what
Rollo.
it is. It's guys. Rollo. So a guy can't take on him because he's got better upper body strength than it. This is a guy that fucks, okay? A guy who does not fuck.
Of course our team fucks all the women.
He's got to find,
hypothetically.
Yes,
You're hypothetical guy
protect the innocent.
But there's those guys have to find some sort of psychological way to gaslight you into thinking that because you fuck, you're a very bad man. And so that's why body count becomes an issue.
I would be willing to bet that if we were to have a therapist on here, and then the therapist hypothetically would talk to a man who had 200 sexual partners in his life. I don't know if we know anyone like that.
I know one.
If we can think of anyone who had even 200, I don't see how every therapist would say, well, that person's obviously a narcissist because they had 200 sexual partners.
But Mike,
what?
Just to your point, you wouldn't know my body count if I didn't say it. Nobody
Well,
would
correct.
know.
Yeah, of course.
Nobody would know what, because first of all, I don't act like that anyway. One, I'm not a fucking asshole. But this is like, bro, when you get to a certain level, it's like, bro, I beat the game.
Right.
Why am I gonna?
There is a certain level. There is a certain level of aura.
Beat the game.
Like you're like, I could tell this guy that could get a sexual partner.
Like, bro,
basically.
yes.
You chill with me, right? What am I always around?
What'd you say?
Well, okay, you've been with me, right, in Miami? What am I always around?
You're always around really, really attractive, extremely white Eastern European women with really, really nice butts.
But
white women with white women with incredible asses.
But I'm just like you, right?
Yes.
And it's funny because they're like, oh, you guys are doing too much. We're just living our lives. This is who we are. Right. But again, my body count, you would never know unless I told you.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I remember, I distinctly remember this. I was on a Pat Campbell show one time. It was we were talking about body count.
R.I.P.
And I was on there and Carly was his producer, his chick, his producer. And someone on the show asked me what my body count was. And because I'm always open about it. Oh, it's 41. And you could hear this audible gasp because this is Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? They're like,
how dare you?
And like they thought it was a man whore. And I'm like, the guys that I know who are like in the triple digits, they think I'm a rookie. They think I shouldn't even be giving advice because I don't have my numbers aren't up enough. I don't have no receipts.
There's no streamer in Miami that's below 100. I don't think there's. Can you think of one that I would be below 100? I can't think like every streamer. I'm like calling people out, but like there's no.
Unless they're like hyper religious.
It's not the reason why is if I'm talking about the IRL streamers.
Yeah,
well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Larry Wheels isn't, but the and I'm not trying to make fun of him, but he's picked. He chose to be with one woman, right?
He's a nice guy.
Well, it's nice you don't get no hoes, man.
But what I'm saying is, I think. Let me say this a different way. I don't think there's any streamer who, if they didn't want to, couldn't get to 100 very quickly in Miami. Because again, I watched what Androgenic and Clav and all those guys when I was at Clav's Club, and the women are throwing themselves at these guys. And these are attractive women, and I was just like, yo, this is wild. And I'm as a person who I get, for being almost 50 years old, I get a lot of women in, like, if I was single and I wanted to date a different girl every day, it would not be very difficult. I will tell you, being 1/10 as big as those guys online, as far as the number of people who watch me stream, there is the amount that the women throw themselves at these guys is crazy. So this is my other question to you guys. I want you to think about the narrative, the overall, in general, manosphere.
Say it right. Think about this.
Think about this. Think about this. The overall general narrative that men have about women from the manosphere. No resentment, no hatred, just in general. Do women care about status? They do. Do women care about money? They do. Do women care about clout? They do. Do women care about looks? They do. Okay. Do women care about personality? Also, they do, but they also care about clout and the looks and the status that we said before. Okay. But they do. Yeah. Now, when we say this, then we get pushback from the other side. We're not going to say the blue pill. We'll just say the other side. We get pushback from them, though. That's a mischaracterization of women. That is misogynistic. I can't believe you say that. I don't know, man. I just watch women lining up to make out with Clav. I'm sorry. I watch women. I don't mean to tell anybody. I've watched women that Myron has gone after hard as shit on the show. Afterwards, follow Myron around when we were at Mushi Mushi. Just like clearly looking to have sex with him afterwards. You've seen it too. Like the ones you guys on the show, you see the ones that Myron goes the hardest at. Like he's super, like he very go after each other. Afterwards, we go out to eat.
One time, he made this girl cry. And I was like, okay, she's going to go home, talk shit about him online, make posts.
Oh my God.
Bro, she comes with us to Moshi Moshi. She's next to Myron and says, you were right.
Yeah.
And I was like, motherfucker. Then, not mind you, right? I'm sitting there like, how's this gonna play out? So I'm the one driving them back home, right? Sit in the back seat. I see her hand on Myron's lap. I'm like, oh man. Yeah. It just goes to show, it doesn't matter
allegedly
what you say. It's just who you are.
Yes.
As the guy.
I got a story about Myron too. And I know you know who I'm talking about, but this was back in 2021, 2022. I was on a show, and I remember this happened because she was like this really, she had the really kind of, you know, I don't forget her name, but she was blonde with kind of like that bob haircut. Looks like, just like stereotypical Karen, right? And she had
Fitness?
Fitness girl. Yeah, right. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And she just hated him, right? And was it about a month later, 2 months later, I come back and we're getting ready for the show. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but like, this is at the old studio. Okay. So it's not the new studio. Okay. So I go up there and, you know, Myron keeps very odd hours, right? Because he gets up at 4 or 5 o'clock.
No, he wakes up at 7.
Yeah.
Bro, Myron will be waking up when we start Fresh Event.
And I swear to God, I come in, I think you might have been with me, and that chick was coming out of his bedroom and she had like she had her little carry-on luggage, like she was just heading out the door. She says, "Oh, hi, Rolo," because she knew who I was and stuff like that. I'm like,
okay, so
the fuck.
Let's go back to my.
You hated this motherfucker.
Let me go back to my original point. Let me go back to my original point. Right,
I remember.
Do you remember Mooncat made that video? I debunked evolutionary psychology. I think it's got like 1.5 million views. If you guys want to check it out, and then William Costello and Alex from Date Psych made a retort to that video, and so did me and Rolo. The video that Alex and William made, I made it a required viewing in my program, Men of Action. It's so good. It is such an incredible dissection of her video that I love it. It's one of the best steel man evolutionary psychology videos I've ever seen. So the point I'm trying to make is if we're wrong about what we believe, shouldn't these women or these content creators that don't like us be furious with all the women throwing themselves at Leonardo DiCaprio? Shouldn't they? Do you understand? It's like I keep hearing about how Clav is misogynistic, and then I go and I see one woman after another sitting on his lap trying to make out with him. Shouldn't you stop being mad at us? Who should you be mad at? You should be mad at the women who keep proving us right.
Right.
Am I crazy? Am I like? It's just constant visual proof one time after another. And then Access Vegas is the worst. Why? Because what do we have? We have a bunch of women on there. Hey, do you have a degree from somewhere? Do you remember the question?
Yeah.
I have two master's degrees.
Yeah.
And then I look right at Mark. I'm like, she's got 2 master's degrees. Remember how you guys think that we cherry pick girls that are stupid to come on our show? We don't. It's like, no matter.
That won't make it into the clip.
I'm telling you right now. If you want to defeat us in one fell swoop, here's what you do. Okay, here's what you do. Well, you're looking at my. Yeah, I just started a cake.
That's good.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to catch up to you guys. By the way, if you guys are watching me on YouTube, I'd really appreciate if you go to Kick for just 1 second, leave at least one comment, and check me out on Kick, just in case Gavin Newsom gets elected president and they nuke our YouTube.
Send the brown shirts.
Just please, it's our insurance policy. Please go to Kick and Rumble.
But he mogs, bro.
But he mogs. He supports guys. Please support Kick and Rumble and X because they support our freedom of speech. And I love YouTube and I love Instagram. Obviously, that's where I'm strongest. But YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok do not support freedom of speech like Rumble, Kick, and X do. Just so please support them.
Yeah.
But going back to what I said before, there's an opportunity here. Like if I'm a woman, I'm furious about what keeps happening. If you were to watch the show Access Vegas, you have a bunch of women who are married mothers with master's degrees. They're agreeing with us and somewhat disagreeing with us. They're friends with us. They said, "We love you, Michael. We love you, Rolo." That's why we come on the show. Okay, and they're saying the same things that the girls on Fresh and Fit are saying, like exactly the same. The only difference is the girls in Vegas don't call themselves tens because they all have to compete. The girls here have to compete with each other for the pool jobs, and so they know if there's nothing wrong. If you're a Vegas 7, you're still incredibly hot.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so whenever reading something like Rob Henderson's like stats, right? Or like remember on the show, everybody was saying, "Oh, you guys come in with this data and the stats and everything like that." And I've talked about this on a couple of occasions. Like, I think one of the things that we kind of get lost in the sauce with is we always trying to find the latest study, the latest research that experimental research, whatever it is in the lab, whatever. Usually it's qualitative, but sometimes it's quantitative. We're looking for like research and surveys and all this other stuff. And the one thing that I think that a lot of these guys just simply they completely disqualify is field work. like being out there and watching this shit happen and observing it. And I thought it was funny because was it Jane Goodall just died recently, right?
Yes.
And that's all she did
Was field work.
sit in the jungle and watch what was fucking happening right there. They didn't go and give the gorilla surveys to hey, do you like that little female gorilla over there? That was no. You have to be right there and observe it. And yet we have this like godlike respect for like Diane Fossey or Jane Goodall, people who are, I can only think of them off the top of my head, but researchers who have to be in the field to observe what's happening so that they can take notes and make the studies.
If I were a researcher,
why can't we do that? Why can't we have the same level of respect, at least to some degree, for guys like you, guys like me, guys like these guys who we've been here, we've seen this happen, but no, maybe you guys have your own programs and you guys are on the take, so there's something wrong with you. It's like, no, we see this happen. Anybody who's out here has seen this happen before, and I'm sure your research is accurate, but can you at least acknowledge that what our observations have been talking about for, in some cases, 20 years is at least somewhat valuable to the discussion we're having here?
So there's new evolutionary psychology data coming out on cross-sex relationships leading to relationships. Right. Lucy Hunt she did a study about this 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. William Costello is doing one now. And it's about cross-sex relationships, friendships leading to relationships. A lot of times what will happen is guys who even think that they don't have female friends, they do have female friends. They're people you just say what up to when you walk around. And they are the ones who introduce you to the girl that you end up hooking up with, because women have more access than men. You guys know that, right? You don't believe me? Go to a strip club with a girl and have her just go up to a girl and start touching another girl's boobs. Nothing happens. She doesn't get kicked out because women have more access. Like, I've had women walk into the dressing room before the strip club. Nobody says anything. Women have freedom and access. They can introduce people. They have no approach anxiety. If you have a ton of female friends, you're going to meet more high status dudes and you're going to date more attractive women. Now, the evolutionary psychology data backs this up. So, but the problem is, if I were to look at an experimental physicist versus it's called a theoretical physicist versus an experimental physicist. A theoretical physicist is going to write ideas out on a chalkboard. Yeah. The experimental physicist is going to actually put together the experiments and the lasers or whatever.
That can be repeatable.
Yeah. Well, my whole question is, at some point when we're talking about dating, why not talk to the guy? What I would want to do is, if I were an evolutionary psychologist, which I would consider to be a theoretical physicist in this metaphor, I would want to talk to. I would say I want to look at average guys. So an average guy. So apparently on Reddit, I'm 5'9". So I'm an average guy, right? Or am I 5'6"? I can't remember. I'm 5'9" or 5'6". So I'm an average guy. I'm not a male model. It's nothing specifically
I got a story
special
for you,
about me. Okay. I have a less expensive Rolex on than Fresh does. Fresh, you have the Roll Go Sky Dweller.
Fuck, man, I should.
Okay, I have.
It doesn't matter, bro.
What I'm saying is, I'm not as baller as I'm an average guy.
All these guys with Rolexes, I got a bullet.
Listen, that's not important. Okay.
Okay. My point is,
what's important is the man who's wearing the watch.
Thank you very much.
My question is, why if I'm a researcher, I would want to look at an average guy who does really, really well with women and who has clients that do really, really well with women. But unfortunately, they can't use my data scientifically. And I've asked certain evolutionary psychologists before, I was like, hey, listen, if you want to go over research specifically with male-female cross-sex relationships and whether or not having cross-sex relationships allows you to read the minds of women, I've told you guys this before, great way to be able to read women's minds is having a huge slut friend. Having one female friend who is a huge. You have any female friends like this? You don't have any friends like this? Okay.
I have no female friends.
Okay. So having a huge.
I have acquaintances.
I want to do something I meant to do a long time ago, but we now have an opportunity to do this because people in the chat are like, "Oh, he's really insecure about his height." I posted I posted a picture, and the picture that me and you and Sosnick are in for when we were at the Miami White party, right? Yeah. And people go, "Wow, I think Rollo's taller than Mike." I'm like, "No, I'm about an inch shorter." I'm trying to explain this to him, and so here's what we do. Kyle, can you do this? Can we move one of the camera so he can go stand up against that wall where we have the tape right there? We specifically did this so that you guys can once and for all now you guys can see.
I'll do this. I also want some hater on Reddit to come do this with us.
Yeah,
because it doesn't matter what I do; they're just going to say you fake this, so it doesn't make any difference. I also kind of like the fact that people think I'm 5'9" pulling all these women. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. So because this happens so often, what I did is, those little the strip, the tape that goes up the side of the door at 7-Eleven so they can tell how tall the perp is as he runs out the door. Yeah. We have one. I got that specifically here. So I want to go over there and stand by that, and let's see exactly once and for all. This is how tall Michael Sartain is. All right, here we go. There we go. Wait, turn around. There you go. Okay, so you guys can see with the hair, he's about
No,
six.
it's not the hair. This is so for those of you who don't know, right? So my skull. Have you ever seen a xenomorph in Aliens? You know how big and long my head is. So the
Anunnaki skull.
The top of my skull, my head. If I were to shave my head slopes down like a slide. Like a
Okay.
I have this big. What you know the cone heads? You guys know
Yeah.
If I shave my head, I look like a cone head. I have this big. So the top of my skull is actually the same height as the hair in the front of my head.
Sartain's a star child.
But like if you take it and go over here, yeah, it's about a little bit more than 6'1". So that's about where I'm at. So I don't know, anybody else want to check this out?
There it is.
Ready?
That's it.
Obviously, I'm wearing shoes that have lifts in them.
Yeah. He's not standing on a phone book. Yes, he's not standing on a milk carton.
These are Jordan Mora 4s.
Yeah, the top of my skull, because I have this huge like xenomorph.
Someone said full screen.
Full screen. It doesn't matter. Like all you did was give the flat earthers more reason to believe the earth is flat. No one will care.
The first thing, fake. It's fake. It's fake.
It's so incredible.
Right.
People will lose. People will be just, I hate Michael Sartain. Like there's be going crazy or whatever. Guys, I'm gonna say this. I wish I wasn't 6'1". I wish, because I could sell more. I could sell my product more.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, that's what I'm at.
What height would you want? I mean, if for that
For my program,
Yeah.
5'6". If I was 5'6", I'd make so much money, it'd be ridiculous. But I have a client who's 4'11", who crushes it with women. I have a ton of clients that are Indian. There's South Asian guys who are.
Yeah.
Okay, just go to moamentoring.com/testimonials. There's ways to get over the height situation. There's ways with charisma, leadership.
People in the chat asking why Myron's not on here. Okay, you guys clearly didn't watch last Friday's show when both of us were on on the show with Myron. He basically castled the entire table so that we could go on for another 3 hours after that. Guy was so late when we were out of there.
Yo, and then I get home and the girl in my bed is like, "Who are you with?" And I'm like. You can literally watch.
And I know
you can literally do you understand how weird it is for a woman dating a streamer? Like if you're Clab's girlfriend, or if you're whoever, who are the biggest one, the alien, or if you're whatever his name, any androgen, whatever these streamers are. If you're dating one of these guys, you get to see what they're doing all the time. You can be jealous, but you can't accuse them of shit they didn't do. Yeah. It's just it's so crazy.
And they track your phone. What are you doing at the hotel until 4 in the morning? A podcast.
Yeah. So they're like, you were at a hotel, and I'm like, I was at a hotel. I was at fucking SLS Brickell. What are you talking? Yeah, it's a hotel. It has a residence and it has a hotel.
Why were you getting pizza at 5 a.m.?
I was like, because I was hungry. It was 5 a.m.
Oh, that was great.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. You're on Reddit True Tide. I didn't think you needed I didn't think you needed the pizza. I didn't think you wanted the pizza. Am I wrong for that?
Oh my God.
Gosh, we just broke the internet. I'm sorry. All you people, there's a lot of guys that just crying right now because they saw that whole thing of me being measured.
I know.
I feel so bad for them.
They're saying 6'5" with the mohawk.
I love getting into that.
That's funny.
People, I think he's a manlet. God forbid I stand next to Myron and Jay Waller, and I'm 5'11", and they're like, you know how tall those guys are, right? It's like, I knew Rolo was a manlet. What is he, 5'9"? I was like, God Christ.
You know what's crazy about height? I'm around tall guys all day. Pause.
Yeah.
And Michael Beasley is 6'10". I'm 6 foot at best, right? And for me, it's kind of I look at it as, okay, he has this portion of girls, I have my portion of girls. There's more than enough to go around at our level. Some of us look at it as, okay, you know what? He's taller than me, so F him. He's taking my girls.
Yeah.
Bro, what? Dude, look at all the girls that are here in Vegas. You can't take them all. He can't take them all. Neither can you. But guess what I can do? I can go on my dating app, if I was going to use the dating app, Instagram, and find ones that he can't find. The point is, there's more than enough to go around.
Yes.
So height in itself, yes, you could say it's a detractor, but at the same time, it doesn't eliminate you from every single girl in the world. So,
no, it doesn't. But you do. I will say it's an advantage, and it can be a disadvantage at some point. I've just seen
a lot of girls say, I won't date a guy below this height, but she will if the dude has enough riz and swag
and money.
And well, sometimes money, but it doesn't have to be money. It can be money, but it doesn't have to be money. I've seen dudes, I have seen guys humor their way into vagina. Hopefully you guys have all at least had one friend who's done that. Like literally no chance whatsoever. And I've also seen the guy who like leads the social group for the birthday party, the escape room, the whatever party, the club promoter, whatever. And he social proofs his way into vagina. And then I've also seen the one, I would say this is me, who's pre-selected his way into hooking up with girls that are kind of out of his league, because girls will see who I used to date. And I get this message all the time. Whenever I'm single, they're like, I saw your ex. She was so hot. I get this frequently, like all of my previous exes. And so that's another way. Who's the comedian? I never forget the guy's name. Dad died during 9/11, used to date Kim Kardashian.
Oh.
He's so indescript. I can't even remember the guy's name. I'm sure someone in the chat will say his name.
Someone will give it.
But my point is that guy, he did really well with women because he hooked up. If I went out with Kim Kardashian, the amount of women I would get would double. It would, because that's how pre-selection works.
Have you heard about the Instagram trap method, where guys will
Trap
post
Pete Davidson.
buying their girlfriend,
Pete Davidson, that's his name. Yeah,
buy their girlfriend a G-Wagon, buy her a bunch of roses, in thousands of dollars, taking them on trips.
Love bomb.
It's called Queen Game.
Yeah, and
Queen Game,
I just wonder, why would you post this shit? You look like a lamb. Like, no one needs to know. But then I met someone that's a good friend of mine that does this like every other month. I'm like, what are you doing this for?
His DMs.
Then he showed me his DMs.
Incredible.
I'm like, holy shit.
Queen Game.
And now, because I used to be like, dude, this is kind of simpish. Like, what are you doing? But then when I saw the line of girls DM him, like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? That could be me and you. I'm like, you're fucking vultures for this shit.
Yeah.
Dude, it's an advertisement budget, like we were talking about for
It
Clifton.
is.
That's what it is.
It shows you're generous. It shows you're generous and you're attainable, and the girl gets off on the idea of stealing you from another woman.
That's it.
Those three things. So the term is called Queen Game. Queen Game. Queen Game is you make one girl look like you're queen with the express intent of getting other women to slide into your DM. So it's the picture in front of the Eiffel Tower. It's getting her a car. It's going up the ski lift and having the people behind you take a picture of the two of you on the ski lift. I knew one guy, he literally, all this guy did was cheat on his girl and then post pictures of him like with his girl doing all this stuff, and his DMs just packed full of women. And again, I'm going to say this again, like, the problem is you keep telling us we're wrong, and then we keep doing things that we say are right, and it keeps working. And I don't know how, if I'm a woman and I really don't like this content, who I really, really, really am angry with is the women sitting on Clav's lap, the women going on Fresh and Fit, the women who keep dating the guys in this space. And the other thing I loved about that Mooncat video was we were incel podcast. And I'm like, you can say a lot of things about me and Fresh and Myron and Rolo and No Fugazi and Brian Atlas, but the idea that we're involuntarily celibate is just factually incorrect. That it just isn't true. No. So I thought that was an interesting.
That might be a conversation or a something to bring up when you have your debate with Paul.
But that takes a lot of like finessing in terms of like where to put, because like the chat sort of is right in a way you're attracting gold diggers, but if you're just using them just to fuck them, because that's what it sounds like. But like that'd be so funny too. Imagine you break up with a chick and just like, this could be you. You use all your old pictures, just take the girl's face out. This could be you.
Well, the thing is, I don't think it's just gold diggers, because the problem is this, man. The amount of women that have asked me to like introduce them to pick whatever clout. Like I had a girl hit me, asked me like, "Can you introduce me to Clav?" I had one girl ask me, "Can you more than one girl? Can you introduce me to Andrew Tate?" 100 girls say, "Can you introduce me to Justin Waller?" They asked me to do this stuff. I don't, and when I look at these girls,
that's funny. They just introduced themselves.
Yeah, they're not.
They're at dinner like,
they're not gold. Yeah. They're not gold diggers. Like these girls are. They're not like, a lot of them are just regular girls that I see wanting to do this, and I'm just. There's got to be a way for somehow we can express. Dr. David Buss just goes on trigonometry last week. The title of the title of the interview is called "Nobody Wants to Hear This." And there's got to be a place where we can say the thing nobody wants to hear and understand it is going to create resentment with some people, while at the same time recognizing
while at the same time recognizing it's still true.
Mhm.
You're gonna say things when it comes to biology, economics, when it comes to socioeconomics, when it comes to dating. Sometimes you're gonna say things that are true that do make people resent or make people upset. It's just true. It really is it is the truth, right? If you tell people that are overweight, hey, you're less likely to be able to carry a child through 9 months of pregnancy, and you're more likely to die of heart disease. Some people find that offensive, even though it's true. And we have to be able to find the balance. And because we can't find the balance, then we have a red pill space that exists because people don't want to hear this stuff, like what Dr. Buss said. Nobody wants to hear this. And we also have an anti-red pill space, which are people saying the same thing. The gentlemanosphere who are copying the same talking points with different words and then saying we're not like those red pill guys and almost using our arguments verbatim. Like that's the problem, right? So I don't know how we're ever going to get to a solution where we could get to a solution, which is, hey, let's come to the realization that some of the things that the manosphere and red pill guy said are correct. They're factually correct. Even if we don't like the way that they said it, they are factually correct. And one of the problems that those guys have is while they can describe the StreamYard?
Yes, StreamYard kicked me out. You guys are back on.
Oh, we're
All
on.
right.
Okay, good. All right,
We're
back.
solid.
We're on. Okay, good enough. Ooh, what happened? There we go. Now we're good. Why did it kick you out of Sue?
Sometimes it kicked me out before too, but it didn't turn the channel off.
Well, I'm still up, so that's fine.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. That's we have fail safes. We have redundancies here. No, I was going to say is that I watched there was an article just recently. Essentially, it's the same fucking thing over and over again, which is, men need to do better. It's men's fault that the marriage, if men were better than women, we want to marry them and stuff like that. And it's again, you're going back to this marriage as sort of the litmus test for all of this. What I want to talk to Fresh about. Now, all this stuff that we've been talking about, like, what we've been doing for the last, 6 years now, right?
6 years, yeah.
I was one of the first, it's funny is when Myron kicked off all the girls on last Friday, the first question I said, I was looking at him, I go, aren't you getting tired of all this? And he goes, well, he was really honest about it, right? But before Mike got here and we were talking about like the industry and how things are changing as far as like the streaming and Kick and just how we're not like the streaming side of the stuff that we used to do from 2021 all the way up to, I guess, 2025 now. Do you see like the content still being relevant, or is it the delivery that's going to be more relevant than the content? So like for Mike and I've got 6 books under my belt. Mike's been doing MOA for God knows how long. We have our independent sort of, little fiefdoms, I guess. We got our own other products that we have going on. But to make those things relevant, we've got to start playing the game differently. And the way that you were just describing before we got here. Now, my question to you is are we still able to be honest? Are we still able to be like genuine in what we do and still be able to broadcast to the same degree that we need to so that we can stay relevant with the noise that's coming out with the rest of all this shit?
Yeah, well, the content always going to be relevant. No doubt about it. You can see it today with celebrities, their lifestyles, also all these cases happening. You see even women on podcasts admitting, hey, listen, this is how I am as a woman. And it confirms what we said for years in Red Pill, that women are promiscuous. They do what they want. They don't care about men's standards. What's going to have to happen is the delivery with the packaging that has to change. Because the old order of just being truthful online, keeping it real, is under attack. It's always been under attack, but it's more so now than before because of the algo. Look at AI. The moment you say certain words or certain things,
yes,
you're gone like that. Now, Rumble, luckily, gives you that free speech platform to say what you want. So does Kick. But at the same time, things are always evolving, right? And as far as mainstream marketing goes, like TikTok, YouTube, what else? Snapchat. They have a broader audience to market to. And if you want as a creator to push to those platforms, you have to package it in a different way. And look at Clav. Clav brought Black Pill to a different audience, a different package. Never done before. He's not the first, I'm not the last, but his packaging was different. Us as creators have to do the same thing. Now, look at it from the standpoint of someone that's new. Oh, I heard they're bad people. Turn off. Oh, I seen a Netflix documentary about these people in the red pill space. Turn off instantly. No questioning, no review, just because. But what if you brought in a hot girl? And the hot girl's saying, Rolo changed my life. Here's why. Play the clip. See right there? It's the same content, just the packaging is different. And I give them a, wait a minute, let me stop. Wait, Rolo, the guy is in the documentary, he's a bad person. Why is she saying this? Now I want to listen. So it's all going to be relevant. This packaging has to change because, again, we've been under attack for so long and our names have been dragged to the mud for so long that any type of content with our faces on it, for the most part, is seen as like bad. And that's how people are trained. But the packaging, if it changes, we can still win.
I don't think there's any way to help. So the issue with when you package things the way that we're going to say, like the mainstream dating advice packages it. Like, I really like Scott Galloway. I don't think he can help you get laid. I like Scott Galloway. I don't think Scott Galloway has the advice to help average men do better with women. I don't think drinking more is the answer. I love listening to Richard Reeves. I don't think Richard Reeves has a legitimate solution for men who are very average being able to get with women. And with all due respect, I really enjoy listening to Chris Williamson. I don't think Chris Williamson has what it takes for you as an average man to be able to date women in 2026. I think he has pieces of it. I think he has percentages of it. I don't think he has the whole thing. In order for you to come up with the entire thing, you would have to test thousands of different iterations with thousands of different men with hundreds of thousands of different women in order to make this whole situation work. And when I do that, if I were to tell you everything that I've learned, it's always going to sound toxic. There's no way around it. Now, if I were to, every piece of toxic information that you think that I give, if you were to take that same piece of information and say it's for women, it's not toxic all of a sudden. It's not toxic all of a sudden. If I were to say something about men need to have standards, man, these men, they think they're the prize. Listen to these stupid men. If I were to say women need to have standards, then it's not toxic. If women were to say men all need to start in jail and work their way out, basically need to start in bondage, that's funny. It gets promoted on TikTok. It gets a huge laugh, hundreds of thousands of likes. If I'm a man and I were to say women need to, I'm not even going to say it because we're on YouTube. I'm not even going to say the words. Women need to start in blank and then work their way out. Then it's toxic, it's misogynistic. Right. So the problem is, if you are to give men good advice, there is no possible way to give men good advice. You have to really squint hard and clench your butthole really hard to maybe get around the censorship in order to give men to give men good advice. If I'm like, for instance, I'll tell you really good advice for men. You're out with a girl, things are not going down the direction that you would like them to go. You yawn and you say, hey, let me call you an Uber. I'm had a great night. Let me call you an Uber. I need to get up and get some work done tomorrow. Okay. Even if you don't have work to do tomorrow, I recommend guys do that. You're setting a boundary. You're letting her know, hey, listen, it's not that you're just wasting my time. I think I'm wasting your time. Let me buy an Uber for you. I've done that before. I've had my clients do that before. And then crazy enough, as soon as they actually push the Uber and the girl see that he's not bluffing, the girl all of a sudden wants to stay. Isn't it funny? She wants to stay at your place. Now, for somebody listening to this, God, that sounds so manipulative. No, it's a game. It's a push and pull game that goes back and forth. Yeah. And if it was toxic, like, why does it work so well? Like, I don't understand. Or another thing that I've happened is the girl does go on the Uber, and then next time she hangs out with the guy, she realizes, okay, I've got about a 2-hour limit with this guy. I can't just keep trying to get validation and attention from him. I actually have to let him know whether or not I'm sexually attracted to him or not. And so the second thing that happens is the second time you go out with a girl, she very quickly takes the interaction to where you want it to go. Right. Does that make sense? We got to say the words because we're on YouTube. We got to use different words here. Mm-hmm. So that comes off as toxic. Another thing I will say before is, if you had a date with a girl and she stood you up, I would tell guys, post you having a blast doing fun shit, whether or not it's in a nightclub or out with your friends or out deep sea fishing or in Jamaica or whatever. Post on your IG that you're out having fun, and don't message her back saying, why didn't you message me back? You stood me up. Yeah, my feelings are so hurt. Ignore. And then when she looks at all your stories and then you inevitably get a message, oh, my bad, I'm sorry I didn't message you back. Your response is, oh shit, I forgot we even had a date. I've had guys do this. They say, Michael, 10 out of 10, great advice, it works. But doesn't it sound toxic? Doesn't it sound toxic? Now, if Alex Cooper tells women to do that on Call Her Daddy, now is it toxic then? No. Right. Okay, that's the difference. There's no way to really get in there, right? You can't, there's telling people to have good habits, and then there's the heart transplant. There's no way to really get into the meat and really change men's lives. If you do so, you're going to say things that the opposite gender is not going to like. Period. It's just the truth. There's no way around it. And so what's happened is, because these guys are so afraid of the algorithm, they never say the actual thing that men need to hear in order to do better with women. They never hear it. Makes sense? They're still taught, hey, you know what? Women like the dad bod. They don't. They don't like the dad bod. They don't. Sorry if you didn't know that. They don't. If you survey women, who would you rather have sex with? They don't select the dad bod. They select the guy who has muscles. Sorry, that's true. So what we do instead is these
off season.
Yeah, these mid-tier, these middle of the road content creators, what they say is, women like the dad bod. You work out too much. You look like a narcissist. No, it's not true. What we need to do instead is, what I do is I've surveyed thousands of women, asked them, who's the last 5 guys you dated? Basically, I'm reverse engineering who women fuck. And in doing so, I find out what the truth is. I don't ask them what they're attracted to, because when I ask them what they're attracted to, they tell me what makes a good partner. I'm asking them who they have sex with. And when I find out who they have sex with, it's the same things that all of the 4 of us have been saying. And the more you illustrate that, the more toxic you sound online.
You don't ask a woman who she is. Ask her who she dated.
Yeah, that's it. It's exactly right. Yes. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Like, women will give you a list of 12 things that they need in a man. And then you go through their dating history, and there's guys that they dated that they slept with on the first night who were none of those 12 things. You just pay attention to the action. By the way, you do the same thing with men. If you guys are getting into business with someone and the guy says, I can do this, this, and this, go back and talk to his previous business partners and find out that he ripped them all off. Don't do business with that guy. Right. Okay. It's the same thing for men. I care about what you've done, not what you say. Same. I want to hold the same standard to men that I do for women. But for women, when I keep hearing women say, I want a nice guy, and your last 5 exes turned out to be narcissists, I'm going to pay attention to what you did. Women vote with their vaginas. I'm going to pay attention to who you pointed your vagina towards. I don't really care about what you tell me, what fairy tale that you try to tell me that you're attracted to. I want a guy who's emotionally available. I want high emotional intelligence. God. And a guy who knows multiple languages, and he's going to spoil me.
Float in the astral plane.
He has to understand that my love language is gifts. Okay, I'm going to listen to all this, and then I'm going to look at the last 5 guys you dated, because it's easy to do. Why is it easy for me to find the last 5 guys you dated? Why is it easy, guys? Right? Yeah. Why? Because social media. Yeah. It's easy. I can find out the last 5 guys you dated. It's super easy. People talk. I can find out the last 5 guys you dated.
Like, what's a Carfax?
Yeah. What are the Carfax? And when I look at the last 5 guys you dated, I see that those things you swore to me you needed in a partner, the last guy you dated, you slept with him on the first date, and he had none of those attributes. So don't put me to that same standard. Can you imagine, guys, dating a woman who's like, yeah, back in my day, I used to have threesomes with all my boyfriends, but I'm serious about this relationship, and I'm not going to do that with you. Can you imagine how that must feel as a man? How crazy that would be? I would just be like, listen, I love you. You seem like a great person. You need to find someone you're more attracted to, because clearly you're not that attracted to me if you're willing to have threesomes with your previous boyfriends and not with me. Sorry, that's the way I would look at it.
You're like, sorry, I don't want Ms. Gangbang. I'm sorry, man.
I think I got your rumble on.
Yeah, but the funny part about what I realized doing this for 6-7 years, just to stream itself, especially on camera, women will say one thing, and the moment camera is off, they'll do the opposite. And then come to find out, like, they'll be like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. And then Chris will be like, yo, we're going to the club after. Come with us. Okay. Yeah. And then we're at the club with the same girl that says she has a boyfriend, and she's actively trying to get with Chris or me or one of our friends. And I'm like, you just said you had a boyfriend. But in the moment, she said it because it looks good on camera. Reality, she's single. A guy that's talking to her doesn't want to take her seriously. That's what it really is. So women say one thing, bro, but especially on camera, they'll say the opposite just because it sounds good.
It's crazy too, because like all of us have been on Fresh and Fit and seen After Hours, and dude, it's night and day. Like And it's so crazy too, because before they go on after hours, they're so calm. Everything's cool. I've literally never seen a fight before they get on after hours. They get on after hours, they act out, and then they start acting right again. It's crazy. Obviously, some people are just, they're trying to like show off for the camera, of course, right?
Oh, I have.
There's also the White Claw effect. Let's
Yeah,
just throw that out.
some of the
vodka,
the White Claw effect. You got to take that into account.
Some of the girls who have disagreed with me the most strenuously on Access Vegas have then later asked me, when are you going to take me out? I've had that happen before too.
Yeah.
Knowing I have a girlfriend, they still ask me that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, of course that is the case. And again, like I just, it's so maddening to me. It's like, why we should all be agreeing. I don't know why we're all disagreeing.
Right.
I think the reason why we're disagreeing is because of the words that the most extreme people in this space use, whether it's, Andrew or HS Tiki Taki or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't use those. When you use those words, the problem is about a third of the population just shut off. They don't want to hear what you have to say anymore. And so there's a way to do this without using the words, even though the audience resonates with the words, right? I just think there's a way to do. And the other thing is, what we need to understand is I subscribe to the Wiz Khalifa, Juicy J school of thought here, which is these hoes, they for everybody.
Yeah.
You pass them around, they're at every party.
Like,
They ain't gonna be.
sometimes you don't get no hoes, man.
They ain't gonna be loyal, not to anybody. But I still love these hoes. I don't want to marry them. I don't want to marry them. We all know girls we've had great, incredible times with. We just don't want to marry them. They're full of red flags, and they're fun. They're fun. They're fun to go to EDC with. They're fun to go to a party with. They're fun for you and your girl to take home and have fun with. They're fun for that. That's what they're for. We don't hate them. I don't hate them, but I also know I don't want to be in a relationship with them. And that's the whole thing. Yeah. And because they don't understand that, and then they hook up with a guy that maybe not me, but some other guy they see as super high status because of the money he makes or how good looking he is or how charismatic or how much clout he has. And they think, well, in their estimation, this guy's a 9, so I can get a 9 to settle down with me. No, honey, you had a threesome with me and my girlfriend. That doesn't mean we're settling down with you. You're confused about what's going on. And so I love the term 49ers. From now on, we're just going to instead of 304s,
shout out my Wasians.
Instead of 304s, they're 49ers. 4s who think they're 9s. And that's where we are. And by the way, there are men who are like this too. The difference for men though is if we're a 4 and we think we're a 9, when we message Megan Fox, she doesn't message us back. But if you're a woman who's a 4 and you edit your photos and you message Michael B. Jordan, he will message you back. Tyga will message you back, right? These guys will message you back, right? Michael B.
Smash.
They will message you back. So their fantasy, it goes all the way up to the guy's bedroom. Whereas our fantasy, it stops right. We're in the request folder in the DMs, and that's the difference. Is so we as men, we are always like
I'm a 9 until I walk into Powerhouse in the morning. I go instantly down the floor.
Yeah, you walk in there like as men because we're competing all the time. I understand. Like I think I'm a pretty interesting guy online, and then I watch some of these other guys, and like they're way more interesting than me. I understand. As a man, I'm constantly being beaten down by the fact that other guys are stronger than me, richer than me, more popular than me, etc. So I kind of know where my value is. I know how much I have to offer. I know the unique things I can offer, but I'm always aware of it. If I'm a woman and I can just edit my photos and have men out of my league have sex with me, then nobody clip that, please. If I can have them have sex with me, then I might believe that I'm somewhere that I'm not. And because as men, we have to, we understand our value based on the supply and demand curve that exists around us all the time. For women, their value is something that they give themselves based on how they feel in the moment.
What are you going to do about it? I'll suck his dick.
Exactly.
Is that your soundbite?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
You need that, don't you?
Yeah, but just real quick. I just find it hilarious, right? Because you brought up some very good points to start in. And it's funny. All of our detractors who are talking shit about us for years are doing what we're doing exactly.
Yeah.
And
but
full print.
Yes.
Full print. Just to bring it up once again, deport and preach, and also abort and preach, is because they will say we're always focused on, the red pill, the truth. It's too hard and it's not a good message. Yet, in the same token, they're doing on a high level what we're saying because it works.
Yeah.
If it didn't work, you wouldn't do it.
Are we talking about the content or the gaslighting all the women he got pregnant?
They're doing sneaky fucker game.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Well, the thing that gets me is like, I mean, I'm not going to name names because everybody's going to know who I'm talking about anyways. But I hate it when I see another guy talking about how write another article or does another fucking video about how they're leaving the manosphere. No, you're fucking not leaving the manosphere.
You're not.
You are never. I'm sorry, you are not leaving the manosphere. I'll see these other articles about these guys who are like, I was part of the red pill community and it was like a cult, and now I had intervention and now I'm out and I'm away from it. I'm no longer red pill anymore. Like, dude, you're still red pill. You still are aware of the things that people talk to you about. And I put it there. I wrote an essay about it. I said, once you put the glasses on, they do not come off. So you can stick your head up your ass and you can put your head in the sand, whatever it is. But at some point, there's your niece or your aunt or somebody, they're gonna be in some sort of relationship, and you go, oh, that's what those guys talked about that time. You're gonna see the code in the matrix. Something's gonna happen in popular culture, or you're gonna be scrolling on your social media, and you're gonna see some story that relates to something that you understood a little bit better because you're a red pill aware as a result of that. You can go and make all these great articles about how what is it? The latest trend is this. It is these what is it? Was it Jim Sexton? I think it was Jim Sexton was talking about this. The rise in divorces of red pill men, because these husbands become red pill all of a sudden, and they divorce their wives because they won't cook and clean for it's this.
They call it birth control.
No. It's the women. No. It's
bullshit.
women leaving red pill guys, and I'm like, wait, you mean women, the gender that causes 80% of the divorces already?
80%,
yeah. Like, no. What you're doing is you're coping.
But the way that they write this, though, is that it's like, well, he suddenly expected her to cook and clean, just like Andrew Tate tells women to do. And it's like this over the top. You can tell because it's this rhetoric that is like boosted to this absurd extreme. And it's like, first of all, like who is saying this? And but you don't even need to ask that question, because all they're doing, again, the gentle manosphere, this anti-manosphere, anti-red pill, you can build brands on it right now, essentially. Yeah. And all they're doing, all you got to do is just exactly what you were saying before. So all you got to do is just amplify that signal. Yep. And it doesn't matter what the content is, as long as it is in a nice, easy to digest package as you're running through the drive-through lane at Jack in the Box, and they throw it in your mouth and you're on to the next kind of thing.
Listen, the algorithm is changing for good. The old ways of making content, how it's distributed, are changing for good. Now, if you're smart, and this is what people do, they say, okay, if I make content about XYZ, aka the red pill, in a negative light, I get pushed or an algo. Mm-hmm. And remember, they're using now AI to push content as they see fit. Mm-hmm. Now, listen, if I'm a platform, right, with power and control and an AI algorithm that does what I say, I'm going to make sure to put out, for my sponsors, X out red pill. Keep them where they're at. Don't push them. I'm going to X out politics. It's divisive. Not good for sponsors. Right. I'm going to X out hating on the Jews. It is what it is. Back for business. X it out. Now, couple that into major, like YouTube, for example. What has it done for all of us? Is stifled our growth because it doesn't help the sponsors get what they want as in terms of like getting sponsorship. So my point is basically, in a nutshell, these people that are pushing this agenda against red pill, they're getting paid to do it. That's why they're doing it. Right. And they're being rewarded because they get algo push, new fans, and payment. But they know deep down that it's the truth, because if they didn't know, they would do it behind closed doors. So that's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, no, you are correct about the algorithm push. The algorithm, because a little bit less on YouTube, but way more on Instagram and TikTok, because the majority of the purchases on those platforms are by women and saying things that women don't like to hear. Like, again, you guys understand, any one of us right now could say something that is objectively incorrect, which is, we could talk about astrology, whatever, flat earth, and we would grow faster than we would as a red pill content creator. As a red pill content creator, you're going to be demonetized, deplatformed, and ratioed, and all you could do is bring up peer-reviewed data, and that's still going to happen to you. Yeah. But if you sit there and you make content about astrology that is like categorically not real, then what happens is you are going to grow faster than you will. What, am I in trouble now? You're going to grow faster than you will making content about evolutionary psychology. It's just it's the truth. So the reason why is because astrology makes women feel good, and evolutionary psychology does not make women feel good.
I thought you were going to talk about astral projection and
the void of the
divine feminine.
Again, like there's no way in a rational there's no way in a rational society that like Logan Paul and Joe Dispenza have more followers than Alex Hormozy.
or Andrew Huberman. There's no, in a rational world, Alex Hormozy and Andrew Huberman help more people. It's not even close. Then,
but Sartain, to your point, companies prefer not entertainment than value.
No, for sure. It's entertainment. This is what you're going to my point. What they do is more entertaining. What I'm saying is we don't have a society where you get the most views and likes because you help the most people. Yes. Otherwise, Andrew Huberman would be the number one podcast because of the top 10, he helps more people than anyone else.
Yeah. More plates, more dates.
Yeah, more plates, more dates, whatever. My point is, what happens though instead is like we get entertained listening to Logan Paul talk to Clavicular, which is it was an interesting conversation to listen to. It was a good one. I'm not trying to hate on Logan Paul. What I'm saying is, if we were doing this based solely on the merit of using this telecommunication in order to help the most people, then the different people would be. Brittany Renner would not have a following, but Brittany Renner would not have a following the size of Alex Hormozy. But Alex Hormozy, Brad Lee, and Andrew Huberman, who actually do help people. Those people they have big followings, but not as big as these other content creators that just spew nonsense, right? Graham Hancock would legitimately not even be on the internet. Like that's what would happen. But we still allow this, and same thing, So that's what I'm saying is the entertainment factor matters so much, and so what happens is it doesn't matter if it's true as long as it's entertaining. You saw after Artemis landed this is all fake and the moon landings were fake. I'm like, okay, maybe you think it was fake, but you don't have more evidence that it's fake. You have less evidence that it's fake. And now you're going more viral because you're saying this. And I have a Maverick approaching who wants to debate me about whether or not the moon landing was fake. It's fine. It's fine. You can get humiliated just like everyone else.
You'll take the content though.
Shut the Maverick.
Yeah. I mean, I think he makes entertaining content. He's going to get humiliated if he actually is dumb enough to debate me. But that's the whole thing. It's like, it doesn't make any difference because at the end, he'll still have 10 times as many followers as I do.
Well, it's like I remember when Gary the Numbers guy told me that in 2023 that the Vegas Golden Knights would not win the Stanley Cup. And I distinctly remember on the last game, he was like texting me. He's going, dude, give me a lot of shit on Twitter.
Yeah, he wanted to
shout out Big Gary, girl. Shout out Big Gary.
I said, you can send that money to the Greyhound Rescue.
Gary will trash you online and then take you to dinner afterwards.
Oh, it's great too. Because it's back when Aiden Hill.
But he'll admit it when he's wrong.
Aiden Hill was the goalie back then. He was playing on the thing. I go, well, you know why you lost? Because Aiden Hill's number is 33.
Shout out to all my 33s, baby.
Oh my God, that was funny.
You know what I wanted to say to you earlier when you were talking about the whole red pill thing? I was like, why do my eyes hurt, Rolo?
Because
you've never used them before.
Never used them. You got to once you put the shades on, you can never take them off. It's absolutely
every once in a while I have to go back and watch that movie just to remind myself like the lines and stuff like that.
Well, I've had a bitch out so many times.
And I'm going to tell you right now, because people in the fucking comments are going to say this right now. I don't give a flying fuck what the Wachowskis brothers were. Now the Wachowski sisters. Okay, I don't. The writing at that time and what they were doing at that time was absolute fucking genius. Okay, I mean it was genius.
It's a messianic story. It's a correlation to the Bible.
But it's also like Descartes, I guess. I think, therefore I am. It's like it's still consciousness. It's still existence and stuff like that too. There's so many themes that are in that. And every now and then I'll come back to one of the things I was just talking about recently is like, you know how like everybody gives, for whatever reason, everybody wants to give me shit that I still use the name Rollo Tomasi and not my real name, right?
Yeah. Right.
And there's a scene in The Matrix where and I didn't notice this until I watched this recently, but the Smith unit, Agent Smith, right? Yeah. He only refers to Neo as Mr. Anderson. And I was, because even when he's like talking to him, he's giving those monologues and everything, he's always referring to him as Mr. Anderson. And there's at one point where he's almost going to die, and then he jumps out of the way of the oncoming like subway train. He says, "My name is Neo," like because that's his name where that he chose for himself to be like, because people will give me shit all the time about like, oh, his real name is not that, it's blah blah blah, and or else Fresh. We know what your real name is. Myron Gaines is not really Myron Gaines, okay? Ryan Stone is it's not his real name. Clavicular, I'm pretty sure that's not his real name. Why aren't you giving this motherfucker grief, right? The reason is because they want to take that and they want you to accept their identity. They want you to think that they can still define who you are. And that's the problem that they have. So it's like, if I don't dress in a certain way, if I don't act in a certain way, if I don't deliver my material in a certain way, if I don't fit into this idea of what they think I ought to be at that time, I've used the name since the late 90s. But the thing is like, it's trying to deny you an identity of like you that you create for yourself.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince CEO is an identity, is the persona that I know who you are, man. I mean, we've gone out to dinner with my wife before, right? I mean, I know your dog is, right?
Yeah.
I know what you're about, right? But in the same sense, it's like, I think it's kind of cool, at least to some degree, that people can still like define who they want to be. Like Mike uses his real name, but I know what his persona is. And I know Mike off camera too, right? And I think that when you get to a certain point, people really want to try to take that away from that, your identity. They literally want to take that identity away from you because they're powerless in any other respect.
It's a very good point.
Yeah.
Miguel, what's your name? Your pseudonym name?
Dollar Cost Crypto, DCC.
It used to be Hex Jesus.
Hex Jesus, man. I'm a man of many names. Dogecoin Muhammad.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You got any chats here?
No, I've been just kind of throwing them on and off as we go. If anybody wants a question, feel free to throw them out there.
So I didn't get answered to my question though. I asked you earlier. If you were a woman for a day, you had a soon-to-be husband/husband. You went to a podcast where you might have fucked one of the hosts. Would you tell your husband there before?
I wouldn't say anything
or after.
I think most women wouldn't say anything. No. Do you want to know why I know this? No. God, this is so bad. I can't believe I'm saying this.
This Rolo.
Hold on, Rolo. How many times? God, I hate to say this. I'm not going to say anyone's name, but a girl's come on our show that I've had Bible study with.
Okay,
this a lot of times has happened, and I don't expect them to tell their boyfriends. Maybe it's the moral thing to do, but it happens all the time where girls,
okay. Ideally though, if you were the guy, would you want to know? Like, for example, you walk into the room, you have no idea that, I don't know, Miguel was the one that was plowing your wife a couple weeks ago or months ago, whatever.
I don't know how to answer this. I would and I wouldn't at the same time. I would not and I would at the same. I don't know.
No, you got to choose one.
Fuck.
See,
I think most guys would want to know.
Hold on, it's hard.
Yeah,
but it's
okay. Yeah, I guess I'd want to know. Yeah,
I want to know, but maybe not during the podcast.
Yeah.
Like maybe like
okay,
later,
before or
like
after.
back,
Before after.
Yeah.
Would you want to know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, nigga, I want to know. And this is why body count, right? It's so important. Because, dude, in Miami, it's a hyper-inflated marketplace.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We have many beautiful women and good-looking dudes. Pause again.
Yeah.
And it's because when I want a chick, right? It's why I date foreign girls only. Because at least I know the foreign girl, for the most part, has not been
smashed
around.
your friends. Yes.
Yeah, your friend been passed around my
The worst thing you could do as a man, I think, is to walk into a room with a girl that your friend smashed and you not know.
Yeah, the last.
No, you look bro. I don't care if you're a top dog, you're an alpha male, whatever you want to call yourself. You look crazy. And now, mind you, this happens all the time. I'll be in a spot with my boys. I'm like, damn, I was with her last week, but he don't know.
Yeah, but he doesn't know. Yes, all the time.
And that to me is worse than, dude. That's like getting cucked without even know you're being cucked.
It's like you saying like, oh, this girl's been on a yacht last week. Oh shit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chat.
You were one of the first people to talk about that yacht thing, dude. It's crazy
Chat,
in Miami.
would you want to know if your girlfriend or wife smashed somebody you're in a room with? Nigga, I want to know before I even get there.
So what he said is correct. My last 4 girlfriends from Frog Level, Arkansas, Nashville, Tennessee, Fargo, North Dakota, and Kildare, Ireland. Those are the last 4 girls that I've gone out with. Yes, and the one before that, the one before that from Phoenix. The one before that from Phoenix. The last 5 girls I dated. That's because they weren't Vegas local girls. That's exactly right.
So, man, I want you to be careful watching this podcast. Imagine you choose a wife or girlfriend nowadays, right? You don't know her past to a T. That's fine. No one knows for sure.
Right.
They can lie to you, say whatever. But at least if you got a girlfriend or wife, bro, she needs to have the decency to say, you know what, Miguel, just so you understand, we go to this spot, I fucked the manager. Because it's just to tell you, bro, you look crazy.
You're right. You do look crazy. You're right.
Sartain, will it tell you? Probably not.
Yeah.
No, they won't.
You fucked the promoter. You fucked Sartain. You fucked Rolo.
But here's the issue.
What?
This is why I'm not mad at Amy. I'm just like, listen. Amy brought the dude, right?
She was in an impossible situation.
Nah, nigga, you're a conservative woman. You should be honest with your man. You brought a nice, charming young man that has no knowledge of how this shit actually works, but you know how it works. And I'm calling no names here, but you smashed a couple people in the space.
Yeah.
Now, I know what you did. I didn't say anything. Shit, Zena did. But my point is, at least tell the dude, listen, brother, I'm gonna come over to space. I know what's happening.
Yeah.
Out of respect for you, my love, my husband, my boyfriend. You know, this happened. Are you okay with coming to the studio? Don't bring him in and say nothing and then get exposed. Dude, you look crazy. He looks crazy.
Yo, I remember
the poor guy's fucked.
Two incidents.
Got
One
a hypothetical question.
two incidents. One, I had two girls on my podcast, and then we had 3-way Bible study right afterwards for the next 3 nights. And then afterwards, the day she's leaving to go back to where she lives, because most of the time when we have a girl who join us, we don't like her to live in Vegas. Sometimes they do. And she is asking us for relationship advice for the guy that she's seeing. And I'm like, what? Another time, this was not even a couple months ago, we're in a neighboring state to this one. And we go see a girl, and she's telling us, I have a date with this guy tomorrow. She's like, I've never had a threesome before. I'm celibate. I'm choosing to be celibate. Comes back, has 3-way Bible study with us. And then she comes to Vegas with the guy that she went on the date with the next day, and that's now her boyfriend. This happens
no
constantly.
Cognitive dissonance.
There's no this constantly happens.
Yes.
Constantly happens with us, where we'll have 3-way Bible study with a girl, and then all of a sudden she's asking us for like dating advice with the guy that she's with.
You know, it's interesting because
it doesn't count because she had a 3-way.
You will like, and I know you've read these studies, and you will, because there are people that you respect. But these guys will tell you how there's no way that's possible. There's no way that could happen because women would never be able to live with themselves, or else they'll qualify it and go, well, those are low quality women. They're damaged in some way. There's always some kind of cope that goes along with that to explain it away, right? But no, the fact of the matter is that women can and do have an ability to compartmentalize cognitive dissonance just like that, where it's like it's nothing to them to think of that way. Now, guys, I think, need to get that through their head. So back to my hypothetical here is understanding what I just said right now, if you took that guy, and I saw the pictures of the guy, and I got a little bit of a background on the guy that Amy has married, I guess now, right?
Yeah.
If that guy, I'm going to ask you because you know better than I do. If that guy had known about all those dudes, right? Right? Including the sugar daddy.
Fingers is crazy.
Because I can think of at least 4 off the top of my head, okay?
Yeah.
And I know I know who they are too. That's just the thing, right?
Yeah.
So, but so if and there
guys
might be
like
others,
themselves.
does that guy not strike you as a guy who would still go, yeah, I'll still marry her?
Yeah.
Yes, but here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Here's the thing. That's a very good point.
He'll still do it anyway.
He may just let's go through with this method here, right? Let's say she told him, and he said, you know what? I don't care. I still love you.
Right.
At least he knows.
Yeah.
But
so
now,
I see the point. I see the point you're making.
Now,
Yeah.
fast forward, this comes out and it's open
It's
in a format
embarrassing.
where you can't recover from this. Because think about it. Now that he knows, even if he could handle it to himself, the world knows.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you're a cuck. Now you're exposed. Your girl's for the streets.
can
Bro,
you-
how do you recover from that?
Yeah.
How do you, as a man, say, you know what? My balls are big enough to handle this and stay with her long term. Bro, it's gonna end.
So I guess the issue is you guys are saying it's not unreasonable for someone to want to be with Amy because she's been with these guys. But by the way, I'm not trying to pile on here. I like Amy a lot. Right? I do. Amy went with
She
me.
hits you up like, what the fuck, bro?
Amy went to like a slam ball thing with me, and her and I are friends. She's been nothing but cool.
I think Amy's a cool person.
She's really cool.
Yeah,
My thing is, you're not saying that because she's been with XYZ that she's unmarriable. You're saying that even though she's been with XYZ, the guy she's going to marry should at least know beforehand that this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing wrong with him choosing. Because guys, we're going to get to a point here really soon where it's like, I want to be with a woman who's only been with 3 guys. And it's like, you're going to be a virgin, pimp. Like we're getting to that place very quickly.
And that's the reality.
Yes.
Because this is why body count is important. Because I don't need to know your exact number. But I need to know if I'm in the vicinity of this person.
Yes.
Because the problem is we are so hyper focused on sex as men and women nowadays that even on the lowest level of like actual love of connection, there's gonna be crossover. Like I'm sure if I lived in Vegas, bro, we'd have multiple girls that we smash both. But as a real friend, as a real man, wink wink, would do, you go listen, brother. Just so you know, I was with her. Boom, we smash.
Because you're a real friend. Because you're a real friend.
Because now I know. Damn, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I'm good. And versus you sitting there next to me like this, like she's looking at you like, damn, he didn't tell him? Great. I got one up. Because remember, if she doesn't tell you as your partner, your homeboy should tell you.
This is why I don't have as many guy friends. I like guys will like a girl be dating, like a girl will be hitting on me and she has a boyfriend and he wants to become friends with me and I'm like, I can't do this because I know how this is going to end.
Right.
I already know this is going to end.
There's been times I've been in Miami at a table, right? 10K table my boys bought.
Yeah.
I'm there for free, of course, because you know what I'm saying? They bring girls. She's looking at my boy a certain way. Like just looking at him. Because remember, eye contact is very important, right? For the beginning of talking, the sexual tension. So she looks at him a certain way. I can just tell from the look, they fucked. I'm like, yo, real quick, bro. Like, you smashed that? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Now, mind you know what I would have done? I spoke to her, gamed her a little bit, tried to smash, take her home. But knowing that he smashed, I'm good. Because it's just weird to me, right? I don't know if you guys, but it's weird to me.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
So I want to know so I don't go down a path. For example, I don't call names, but like big guy in our space. You know, you know them, you know them.
Mm-hmm.
You're fresh. You know this girl? Yeah, this happened. Cool. Good to know. Done. Because it's just a principle thing. But to not tell your homeboy and then for your girl not to tell you, bro, that's disgusting, bro.
Yeah. And then just to go back to that earlier example of like, all right, the dude accepts. He's like, all right, I'm still going to date you because you told me. Don't embarrass me. It's the same thing with the guys. It's like, look, I'm messing around, but I'm not going to embarrass you. Okay. And then you're like, you embarrass your girl and then she's mad and you're like, yeah, I fucked up right there. Right. But on the other side too, it's like, what the fuck are you doing taking me to this fucking party? Or like, if we're getting married and you're going to take it and you're going to get out of this thing, why are you putting me in situations to make me look like a fucking idiot?
I'm almost to the point now where if you're a man and you have any kind of personal brand whatsoever, you should not put your girl on
100%,
camera.
100%,
And obviously,
100%.
I'm calling my own foul
100%.
here, right? I legitimately thought, because I was 44 dating a 20-year-old girl who looked like Megan Fox with a boob job, that I would get more credibility from this space. And I got nothing but hate. And people started making all these videos about her. Dudes who in a million years could never get a girl that hot. And I just made up my mind from that point forward, no matter who I'm dating, I'm bringing her on camera again as my girl ever again. Because I think that's the answer. That's the only answer. Because here's the thing. She could do nothing wrong. And there's still weirdos who will make up videos that say she did things wrong that she didn't do. A great example was the situation with Myron. Myron had broken up with Angie, and then there was a video of her with some skateboarder or whatever. They were broken up. Yeah. Well, I don't understand. You're sitting there trying to make this. So with my relationship, I broke up with her. The only person I told I did tell you, and I told you. Yeah. And no one picked up on the fact that I was single for a whole year. It was August of 24 when we broke up. It was August of 25 before I started getting messages, are you still with so-and-so? Yeah. And then all the haters, they caught up. They're like, oh my God, they broke up. She must have cheated on him. And it was like, no, I broke up with her in August of 24. And like, I didn't tell any of you about it for the whole year. And it wasn't until people started seeing me with all these other girls that people started figuring out that I was seeing someone else, which is why I said that's what Logan Paul should have done with Nina Ogdahl, which is just like, don't say anything about it. Same thing with Travis Hunter. He should just stay off social media. Then a year later, be already on a date with another girl. And then when someone asks you, be like, hey, wish nothing but the best for her. And then keep it pushing. That's the way to break up. Instead of what people do is like, we need to have a public statement, a joint statement with the two of us. Yeah, you don't need to have a joint public statement. You just keep it. No one needs to know. It's like you know who's really good at this? Chris Williamson. I have no idea who's dating. I have no clue. He's doing a great job. I have no clue. Joe Rogan keeps his girl off the internet. It's terrific. You know the terrible example of this? Akash Singh. That's about as bad as you can go in the opposite direction. What are you doing? Another issue. I really like the guy, but Tom, Bill, what you're doing with your wife, you need to have separate entities that have nothing to do with each other. But unfortunately, because she's taking she's swagger jacked you and taking your clout, and now she's running off in a different direction with clout that she didn't earn. Now all she does, there is no good that can come from this. None. You are not going to get a single sponsor or make a single dollar because of what you're doing. You've only enabled yourself to risk. Yeah. So the thing I would say is if you're a dude and you even have 10,000 followers on Instagram, I think it's probably the best idea for you to just keep your girl. What you do is close friends list. Girls that you maybe want to have Bible study with, and dudes that are your homies that you trust. They're the only ones who get to see your relationship. And then everyone else, you just say, hey, take pictures. I'm with 12 girls right now. We're just having fun. We're existing. We're living life. Might be sleeping with them, might not be sleeping with them. It's none of your business. I'm existing, but I'm going to give you some advice. You can listen to it or not. But when you make it about you, bro, It's a
But
problem.
people use it as a shortcut for their social media pages.
Correct.
And that's also the problem as well. Like, I mean, because it's like they're getting no motion. It's like, let me put my wife in here, and then I'm putting my wife on every fucking thumbnail with her ass and fucking yoga pants.
Now
to
you
get
become
views.
part of the brand.
And that's part. And then you, yeah,
I get it. You want her to be a part of it, but it doesn't work.
doesn't work.
They're not all Layla Hermosi. If they were all Layla Hermosi, then maybe, but they're not like that.
Well, if you notice, most agencies and Hollywood directors tell actors to get with somebody of similar magnitude because if you build a fit relationship like that online, if it breaks, it doesn't matter because it's not even real. But as an audience, you're like, you should do that. She did this. It just, engagement and more banter for the next season, next episode. Yeah. But if it's a real girlfriend, a real boyfriend, a real husband and wife, that's going to create tension automatically. Yeah. So there's no win-win in that scenario. None.
No way to win.
Yeah. So in that sense, even me, for example, I brought girls on stream I was having fun with. It wasn't serious, just fun. Even that was taken out of context. Like, God damn, I'm just fucking her. It's not for my girl. Mm-hmm. So I think just our space, especially, our camera's way better.
Yeah. And I find it weird when people post their kids too.
Bro.
That's insane.
God. It's crazy. Dude. Listen, we all need to just be floating disembodied penises that just exist in the universe. we are it's Schrodinger's penis. We are both sleeping with a woman and not sleeping with a woman at the same time. We're in a relationship and not in a relationship at the same time. Schrodinger's penis. That's what we need.
You know what I like now when it's sick fresh. You don't got no bitches, bro. You got to pay. Cool. Think that. Because you know what it is? In real life, I know what I do. Yes. But it's funny because when I showed people the dates I went on YouTube and the vlogs, it got weird. Mm-hmm. They DM the girl's parents. Oh, she's a mud shark. I mean, that's kind of funny, but you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, you're stalking her. And now it's weird because I don't want to hurt the girl. Like, she's super cool. I'm just having fun. We're having fun. But then it's like, it's a weird place to be. Now imagine that was my girlfriend for real.
Then disaster.
They create things and a parasocial dynamic where like it makes it awkward. And notice, I've been on YouTube for 6-7 years. Before that, I watch YouTubers all the time. Right. I could count on my fingers, right? How many YouTubers are still together after making data channels, having family channels? Dude, they're all broken up. Why is that? Adding internet, comments, and two people together like that is the recipe for disaster. Because, dude, you cannot control the outcome of what people will say, how they'll react to you, and what they push out there. Because think about it. Even if you're an amazing creator, you're the best in the world, comments will pierce you at some point.
Yes.
They will.
There's only one like archetype that I can think of that works with family is father son or father cousin, male cousin or something like that I've seen work. Because if it breaks up, it's like, well, he's just off doing his own thing. Sort of like
or brothers, brothers,
the
Hodge twins,
Hodge twins and stuff like that. But even then, they could have gone into a huge fight and just broken up, but they do their own things. But still, it's like it doesn't destroy the whole thing. Basically, it's like they're just doing off their own thing, depending on how bad the fight is.
People always like ask me about like what me and my wife's dynamic is, and it's like, well, my wife doesn't want to be on social media. Yeah. She simply doesn't. She says, "Go ahead, please do. Look for her Instagram. Look for her Twitter. Look for her Facebook." It's not there because she doesn't have it. She's never.
Every time I date a girl, stalkers, bro. These guys just start stalking them, asking them questions. Yeah. All kinds of. My favorite is this one guy. Because I've said this a million times. If you can find one single girl I've ever paid to hang out with me, go on a date with me, take a picture with me, come to my event, anything. If I paid 1 cent to any one of them, I will give you $50,000 if you can find one girl and all of them are tagged on my Instagram. What? So I say this and everyone shuts the fuck up except one dude actually took me up on it. And he started messaging a bunch of girls. And the girls were like, they were sending me the screenshots. A bunch of girls were like, and the guy was like, how much does Michael pay you? And the girls were like, well, Michael doesn't pay me anything. They're like, well, then why do you hang out with him? She's like, because I love him. He's my friend. Michael's one of the greatest dudes ever. And they sent me these screenshots. And what did the guy did? Did he go, oh my gosh, I've learned a new lesson. It turns out you can actually have a bunch of women speak up for you and actually fucking really like you. And then from that, date a bunch of beautiful women. Instead, he's like, fuck you, bitch. You stupid whore. What do you mean? Like, what? No. She's not a stupid whore. She didn't take any money.
That's crazy.
He couldn't accept the fact that I have never paid it's not that I don't pay. I've never paid a single woman ever to come to any event or go to dinner with me or anything ever, one time ever. And instead of guys saying, hey, maybe there's something I could learn from this dude. Maybe I could go to his YouTube channel and see the videos saying you can never lead with money. Why successful guys don't suck at dating. Maybe you could watch one of those videos that might teach you. But instead, what they do is say,
screw this guy. This is my religion. My religion is I'm a victim because I don't have money, or I'm a victim because I don't look like King 6'8" or clavicular. So I'm a victim. And Michael has taken away my victim status by showing me testimonials of dudes who are 4'11" and broke, ending up hooking up with hot chicks. And it's guys with thick Indian accents hooking up with hot chicks. He's ruining my fucking victimhood. I hate this guy.
Also, just at that point, obviously I have a stutter sometimes, right?
No.
You're like, Fresh can't do this. It's not possible. He's paying. And I did the same wager. Damn, all the girls on my vlogs that I've ever been with, even the ones I bring on camera, are my story. If I paid them, not one. There's none.
It's inspiring.
There's
dude.
none.
It should be inspiring.
Now, mind you, it highlights their deficiency because think about it, right? Think about this.
Yeah.
If I could pull holes like looking, chilling like this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even like that muscular, that alpha, whatever. That shows their colors because look in the mirror.
Yes.
If I could do this, you can't do it. What does that say about you?
Yeah, well, it's because again, this is the same. And I really hate this mentality when somebody says you shouldn't compare yourself to other people. You should compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Fuck that. You should compare yourself absolutely to other people.
Competition.
That will give you inspiration to get bigger and better and do something. And we do it naturally, anyways. There's no way you're going to never do that, right? I mean, I understand like beating yourself up over it, but if you're a bodybuilder and you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime and you go, damn, I want to look like that. Then, okay, you're comparing. Okay, today I don't look like that yet. Oh, do I keep going every day?
How much mass?
And that's just how much do I got to do? But that's the whole thing is just the reason what Mike was just saying a minute ago is like guys don't think it's possible.
Yeah,
they don't. I mean, fundamentally, philosophically, like mentally in their mental space, it is impossible for that to happen. And so that's why you got, will you pay those girls? Oh, those girls.
The other one is those are fake.
Those girls are damaged.
The other one is those are fake charity events, Michael. Like they're fake charity events. Just investigate. It's 501c3. Just investigate if it's a fake charity. It'd be so easy for you. Just expose us if it's a fake charity. We're literally taking toys for the Midnight Mission. It is a homeless shelter in Los Angeles. It's been there for 100 years. The people from the homeless shelter come to our event. They say thank you for the 2 truckloads worth of toys. Do you think we take the toys home with us and sell the fucking toys? Are you retarded? What is wrong with you? It's not a fake charity. The problem is, here's the thing. When you really listen to what I say, have a bunch of women introduce you to more women and build your entire social life around philanthropy. If you really think about it, you're like, God damn, that's a really good idea. Why didn't I fucking think of that? That's what you should be thinking. Instead is he pays the women and the charity is fake. No, bro, you're a victim. You're just a victim. You're a coward and a victim. That's it. And I'm sorry. I have insulted your religion. Your religion is only men who are good looking with money get women. But unfortunately, you have to explain away my 4,500 fucking clients and you can't. So you hate me instead. That's the problem. Just accept the fact. Like, I don't understand. Why do all these people have me on their show? Why is it so many? Why does the New York Times, if the New York Post and the London Times are writing negative articles about me, that should prove to you what I'm doing works. Okay, that's just, we're to a point where it's like, you got to accept this. All these people, dude, there's no negative reviews of my program. Do you realize that? There's not a single negative review of my program anywhere. And I have 4,500 clients. How is that fucking possible? How is that possible? And the reason why is because I am too arrogant to let anyone who takes my program not have success. I am so arrogant that I will not. It's like the Marines. We don't leave any men behind. There's no one I leave behind. And that's the reason why it works so well.
Somebody said there's 3 dudes in the room with sunglasses on and you're all losers, but now there's 4.
Yeah. Shout out to losers.
I always wonder sometimes, can we save everybody? And we can. Not everyone wants to be saved.
Yes.
And as a result, they're going to always wallow in despair. Yeah. And that's the sad part because I want everyone to win. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been successful.
You know what kills me is when we see visible success. I've been working with the Reignite guys for I'm coming up on 2 years now, right? Mm-hmm. And I've seen guys who were just this side of suicidal, just this side of like self-deletion, right? And I still work with some guys. I will get a new guy in, and we got to start it all over again because I know where that guy's at. And thank God I've got other dudes that are in the program right now who are there to help out, along with the thing. But they don't. I mean, you want to talk about guys who don't believe. These are young guys who don't believe that it's possible that they could possibly go to a Babes in Toyland and pick up a hot girl, whatever like that. Now imagine you're 45 years old and you just came out of a really bad, nasty divorce, and you don't think life is possible. And you don't think that you have two options, basically: delete yourself or rebuild yourself, because everything you built up to that point has just been ripped away from you. And everything you thought was going to make you were going to have this great life later on, it's all been stripped away, and you don't know what to do, and you have no idea how to rebuild yourself, right? What gets me is when I listen to these guys talking about, like, what is it? Adolescence, right? Or the Manosphere movie or something. We're going to spend 20 billion British pounds to $1 million British pounds to make sure that little 13-year-old kids don't go and stab their classmates because they don't want them to talk like Andrew Tate and everything. What about the guys who are 45 to 65 years old? There's a whole nother demographic of guys who are Gen X and maybe a few boomers, but Gen X or maybe the latter half of the millennials. Who are still that are part of this space. They're still part of the manosphere. They're still part of the red pill space. No one talks about. They're like, once you get past 45, 49, somewhere around there, you're effectively invisible at that point. They don't care, right? What about those dudes? That's still a part of the masculinity crisis, and nobody wants to talk about that. No one wants to help these guys rebuild. In fact, as far as I know, I have the only program that's doing anything that's effective like that. But what gets me is that when I work with these guys who were previously really kind of hopeless, and they get about 6 months into the program, and they get we do an event or something, and they go out and they realize, hey, maybe there's something. Maybe I can get laid. Maybe I can get a girl. They don't want to become players. They just want a girlfrind. They just want to be able to.
That's fair.
They want to socialize after this complete disaster that happened to their life. They got zeroed out, man. And it's like, I'm not trying to turn these guys into players so they can go and get their notch count up and we're gonna fuck all these bad bitches and manipulate and play games with women. They just want to date. They just want to get a kiss. They just want to make a connection that isn't a fucking OnlyFans girl. Right. They want to have a real human connection with something, and they don't even have the opportunities to do anything like that. I'm trying to help these guys along, but no. Rollo's filching shekels out of the back of their pockets or something like that. These manosphere guys are like, you deal with this all the time. So do I. They're on the take all the time. And they simply don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It is confident ignorance on their part. Go ahead.
I think the quote today is, don't hate, just create. Look, there's many ways to skin a cat. Yep. And look, some guys want to pay for bucks. Cool. By all means, go for it. Some guys, they want to spit game all day and game chicks all day. Sure, have at it. Some guys just realize, you know what? I need to be the full package in all factors of life. So I'm going to do that first, then talk to girls. Whatever way you want to do it, you can do it. My point of view is, if someone's doing well in their own lane, why hate on them? Right. They figure out a way for themselves to work, get girls, get success. Cool. Maybe I can learn from them what they're doing to apply to my life. Oh, yeah. And you know what I saw? I saw Tate, right? Rise up to who he was in 22, 21. I was like, damn, this dude's killing it. He has everyone's eyeballs on him, and he has a lot of good qualities that I could take from them.
Yes.
To apply myself. The lifestyle, helping others. Cool. I'll take those qualities, apply it where I can. And bro, I tell you not, I kid you not. My Instagram page, I was at what? I think it was like 300K back then. Bro, I just took some shit from Andrew's page, applied to mine. And obviously I'm making money for the lifestyle, but it helped me grow a lot more.
Yes.
I gotta be like, you know what? F this guy, bro. I don't like him. He's doing too well, bro. You got too many girls in the cars. Fuck him. I just, you know what? I'm gonna, rather than hate, create, and that changed my entire mindset. And after that,
you and I started doing those reaction videos. The green screen, green screen. Those are so great. They don't take a lot of time. No effort. With no effort, and I'm actually because the New York Post wrote an article about me 2 days ago, so I'm going to do one tonight. I'm going to react to the article, and they do so well. They require so little effort. I'm in Miami with you and Clav, and then I'm like, I need to get on Kick. I need to get on Rumble. So I started to Kick and Rumble this week from doing that. So yeah, you have to learn. Andrew Tate, his monologues that he does, where he just goes off on one subject, and it's so compelling when you listen to it. I try to steal that. You're right. These guys are really, really good communicators, but I also steal stuff from Chris Williamson, he uses a bunch of peer-reviewed data to come to a conclusion that's not a very popular conclusion. I like that. I steal that as well.
I would say steal. I would say you apply things that apply to you. Stealing is a bit
appropriate.
There you go. It's excessive, but yeah, you get a point. But look at Miguel. His actual prowess for crypto and obviously DCAing is powerful. Now, I don't mean Miguel. 6'1" Mexican, wife and kids. He's a stud. But I don't mean Miguel. But his crypto knowledge, by all means, bless me, bro.
Yeah, I'm always one phone call away.
So that's it. So look, guys. No one's perfect. No one has all the answers.
I would not be in Las Vegas if it wasn't for this motherfucker.
There you go. But take what you can that applies to you and move forward, man. Look, Rolo's a mentor. Miguel's a mentor. He's a mentor as well. We all are mentors in our own right. And look, if you're going to have a lifestyle where you want to have the best options possible, you can't always say, you know what? Damn, he's better than me. I'm just going to hate. Nah. Just create from there what you can and take.
One of the biggest things Roll always says about the red pill is it's choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
It's choose your own adventure. What do you want? Do you want to be a player? Do you want to be a family man? Like you can choose, but people want to be told
what to do,
what to do.
Feel.
Like, it's like, if you want to be a player, be a player. But if you want to get bang bitches. But if you want to have I'm gonna settle down now. I've been fucking whores. I want to have a family now. I want to have kids. I want to have legacy. You can do that.
That's the thing that kills me about the whole thing. Like when everybody's like really super anti-manosphere, like the gentle manosphere and all this stuff. The presumption is that it's guys trying to tell other guys how to like get a bunch of how to get your notch count up. And it's like, I think probably the vast majority of guys that I have worked with they have no aspirations to be players. They just, some of these guys are like 30 years old and never gotten laid. I'm sure you've encountered them. These guys who are, just want to get a second date. They just want to kiss a girl. They don't even know how to hold a girl.
They want human connection.
And they can't even like talk to guys, right? Because they have this, the social skills just simply aren't there, and they're just kind of socially awkward.
Yeah.
They got to find some way to get back into, into a routine so that they can learn these skills. And I'll tell you that's probably one of the things that's the most underrated, underreported aspect of all of this is, we can talk about how the latest chick divorced her husband because he suddenly became red pill and got brainwashed and turned into this robot, this red pill robot. But you're not talking about and I can point you in the direction of a comment thread I have on one of my essays for something like 1,100 guys basically giving testimonials about how my work and the red pill in general has pretty much saved their lives. Yeah. You don't hear that. And I tried to express that to Brian, Mark Fennell on the ABC Australia thing. And just saying like, hey, look, there's much more to this than just like the loud rhetoric and people wanting to make ridiculousness out of all of this. There's a lot more going on. There's a lot more positivity than there is negativity going on here. And I just think that people just are not reporting it, and they're never going to, because you know why? Because under the new law, the new rules for social media, that doesn't play. If I go, this guy decided to live instead of put the noose around his neck. Guess what? If he'd have put the noose around his neck, that would have gone viral. But if he takes it off and he lives a better life, that doesn't go viral.
That's a good point, actually.
Yes.
Yeah,
we should all go eat.
We are at 3:15, so I think we are good, man. Thank you guys for coming.
Stream, man.
This is
yo,
awesome. We are broadcasting like to so many
Rumble,
channels,
YouTube,
right?
I think we're on 9 or 10 channels right now.
This is going to be a new thing for us. You have to go to multiple platforms.
Can I ask you guys to do one thing for me, just to protect? Because they protect free speech. You guys go to my Kick right now. Just give me one comment on Kick before we get out of here. I'm trying to grow my Kick. Again. You guys think I'm bullshitting. Gavin Newsom gets elected to become president of the United States, and you think we are safe? You are they will nuke all of us. Everybody who has anything to say, they will go completely in the opposite direction. So in order for us to protect our brands, I didn't understand it at first when Myron was doing it. Now I understand it. Please support creators on Rumble, Kick, and X. Please. Yes. I'm not saying I love YouTube. I love Instagram. I love Facebook, and I tolerate TikTok. But if you guys support free speech, support Kick, Rumble, and X, please.
Good point. Awesome. Guys, thanks. Have a good Memorial Day weekend. Yep. Thank you for your service, Captain Michael Sartain.
Appreciate that. That was actually my nickname, by the way.
Yes.
I started a new podcast called After Hours Podcast.
Yes.
It's a one-on-one setting, more intimate. I'll bring Roll on there, Sartain as well, and Miguel. Obviously, I'm going to have celebrities on there every week, pretty much. really hot girls that are not wanting to come on after hours, and of course, close friends that have businesses that are very successful teach you guys as well. So it's an all-in-one podcast after work. It's called After Hours for you to relax, learn something, get some knowledge, and have some fun.
Oh, also
on Rumble.
Also, the New York Post said that my program's $10,000. Look up Men of Action, $27. It's a $27 program. So make sure you go check it out.
Yes. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. And I guess we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Take care.
I need to feel you on top of me. It was my first time, but I was just a kid when we met and went to bed. It was my first time. What do you expect from me? I'm breaking up the rules now in the game. I've got some new tools. Please do the same. Time came by and went over like a matchbox stereo. Time to get my thoughts now, let it go. Bound to keep me up all night. But maybe we can fuck again, and maybe things are different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. Won't you put it on me one more again? I need to know if maybe we can fuck again, then maybe things are different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. Could have the best in my life.
Tell that bitch to be cool.
Now we're fucking in the bathroom, tearing up every wall while I got your hair. Why you screaming my name?
That's nasty. It is nasty, right? Isn't it nasty?
She was sleeping in the bedroom, whole time stopping and sleeping with her head like she's Claudia Kelly. Well, I'm a whore. Ride me up and down like a pony, turning up my song, getting nasty, working up and down on your body. Gotcha, bitch. Ride me up and down like a pony, turning up my song on your body. We get down to it all night, but maybe we can fuck again, and maybe things are different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. Won't you put it on me one more again?
Tell these bitches to go to hell.
City Podcast has been a production of The Rational Male. All rights reserved. Registered trademark 2026. You don't steal my stuff.
Kowalski, analysis.